The views and opinions expressed on this podcast are not necessarily representative of the coalition or any other entity. This content is intended for mature audiences only.
Throwdown. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Throwdown, episode 123. I'm your host, Tony Polanco, and tonight I'm joined by Emilio Lopez.
Sup, people? It's Thursday.
Chris Seeley.
Hey, what's up, everyone?
Carlos Romero.
Yo, what's up, everyone?
Brian Munjoma.
And now we can all be Joke-On boys.
Adam Vale.
What up, what up, what up?
All right, and we got some very special guests with us. Joining us once again from She Attack, Miss Jaleesa Foster.
What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing out there?
All right, and we got some new first-time guests here. First up from Hard Knock Gamers, my man, Eddie. What's going on, Eddie?
What's up? Thank you for letting me join tonight.
All right, and joining us from Weapon Wheel Podcast, I'm going to let this man introduce himself, obviously, because he has the best intro out there. Go ahead, bro.
Oh, Lord.
Hey, what's poppin' there, everybody? It's Jack Moon, man. The guru of Giddy Up. But you can also call me your pony commissioner.
Yes. What's going on, brother?
Nothing much, man. Just chilling.
Oh man, yeah. Tonight we're gonna have a very, very special night. You should have heard the conversation we're having beforehand. Hilarious. Like me and Chris were, being attacked by fanboys. We had to put these motherfuckers in their place. We may tell you about it during the show. Who knows? All right. So as we always do with first time guests, we want to know your gaming origin story. So Eddie, let's start with you, man. How did you get into gaming, bro?
I got into gaming when I was 10 years old. For me meeting my grandmother for the first time from New York, she brought me the Atari 2600, and I've been hooked ever since.
All right. And what games were you playing back then?
Man, I played everything. I even played the worst, from Indiana Jones to E.T., Pac-Man, Moon Patrol, Asteroid, Pole Position, Donkey Kong, Kangaroo. I've played a lot of games, so my knowledge of video games is pretty good. But I mean, I'm just an all-around gamer, period.
I like that. So I'm guessing the 78 in your tag is because that's the year you were born, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's my. I'm like, this dude's old school, man. Talking about the classic shit, And Johnny, man, I want to hear this, man. How did you get into gaming, bro?
I got into game when I was either 3 or 4. I don't remember, but my sisters, they had the NES, and I just used to play that. They passed it down to me. I had about 15, 20. I don't remember how many games I had, but I was playing stuff like RC Pro-Am 2 and Skate or Die and Mario, the original Mario Brothers. I want to point out I was terrible at games back then because I was a child, so you know what I'm saying. But yeah, that's when I started.
That's dope, man. What were some of your favorites from back then?
Definitely RC Pro-Am 2, because that was the only game I was really bad at games, bro. I didn't know what was going on them joints. I ain't gonna even lie to you. That was probably my favorite.
Too young, man. What age do you think you actually became adept at gaming?
When the PS1 came out.
There you go. It all clicked, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right, let's not waste any time, man. Let's get into it, man. The reason we're all here today is because we're celebrating a certain game. Got to put my hat on like this now. There
you go.
Yo, man, you need to get yourself an Xbox hat.
Man, fuck that shit, man.
Or Microsoft hat. Oh,
not in my house.
Yo, man, you hear that? Yeah, that's all those Xbox fans and going crazy because you just said no Xbox hat.
Yeah, no. Well, the Xbox fans, they don't care. It's the Xbox fanboys that are.
Oh, the fanboys. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Factual.
What's that thing that Hard 8 always says? The pussies are bleeding. All right, let's get into it. Let's talk about motherfucking Horizon Zero Dawn, man. The game is the shit. Adam, I'm sorry, by the way. Just apologies to you. I know you don't like this game because it has dinosaurs. I understand that.
Yeah, I'm against that shit. So,
so you can tap out if you need to. I'm gonna let our guests talk about this game, man. John, man, why don't you start us off? By the way, should I call you Jack or John? I never know what the fuck to call you.
It don't matter.
All right, move.
It's all the same,
bro.
Oh man, I don't even know where to start, man. This game, it like legit is everything I've been hoping for since this generation started. Like no exaggeration. You know what I'm saying? When I first saw it, it reminded me of that game Enslaved. You know, Odyssey to the West came out last gen.
Yes.
So I was off the rip. I was intrigued by that. You know what I'm saying? Because I never rocked with Guerrilla Games before then. You know what I'm saying? I never was a Killzone fan. So when I saw they was trying something new direction, I was like, you know, I gotta mess with it, and it has exceeded my expectations, man. Like the game is beautiful, the gameplay is beautiful, the story is beautiful, everything is beautiful, man. I'm loving the game right now.
Except for those sawtooths, right?
Oh, them motherfuckers, man. God damn.
All right, Jaleesa, quick thoughts. What do you think about I was about to say Enslaved.
You're gonna say Enslaved?
Right. I love Enslaved though.
Man, that was a great game, man.
Yeah. Go ahead, Jaleesa.
For me, I am like me being a person who actually did like Killzone. But I did like Killzone 3. I'm enjoying it. Extremely proud of Guerrilla Games because Sony let them do something different and felt confident in giving them something else to do, and they knocked it out of the park for me. This is like one of the, I think, in my opinion, one of the best games I've played so far this generation. It's different. It's nothing like it. A bit from other games, but how they got it cohesiveness, like everything is on point. There's nothing wrong you can say about it. Made little nitpicky stuff, but other than that, I'm happy that Guerrilla Games tried something different, and it worked.
Yeah, for sure. We're gonna get deeper into that. And,
I think
Manny.
that is indicative of a lot of the way kind of Sony treats their internal parties. A lot of the way they treat their developers is like the way they kind of Sony in general treats their music artists, where they kind of let them do. It's like, okay, we hired you, you're the talent. Do what you need to do to make the next thing. And we've heard even many times, even with Naughty Dog, and saying, okay, you know what, we want to do this thing called Last of Us, or even from Jack and Daxter to Uncharted, they just said, we kind of wore out the Jack and Daxter thing. Let's move on to the next thing.
Yeah, and I want you to save that thought because there's something I want to say on that specifically. But Eddie, man, quick thoughts. What are your thoughts on Horizon so far?
It exceeded everything that I was looking for in a game as far as graphics, killer. I mean, I look at all the small details from like hair physics, which I thought, Assassin's Creed Unity was a great looking game to me as far as cutscenes and stuff.
You mean after they fixed it, right?
Yeah, after they fixed it. But this game, this is not cutscenes. This is actual gameplay with the physics that's just on point. And then the gameplay itself is like, is smooth. The action, the story, everything, and it's one of the best looking games I've seen. Anybody who sit back and try to say any other game looks better than this right now, you just hate, period.
Well, on consoles, because PC games still look better. Let's just be honest now.
Yeah. I keep forgetting now that PCs are contenders. They're starting to get into the, yeah, I'm gonna piss off some people. I don't care.
they're all of a sudden now contenders.
Yeah, I think they've been contenders for minutes.
Think about it, man. Think about it. They just now getting their categories and awards and stuff. You know what I'm saying? PC stuff wasn't even really looked at, that hard.
PC games have always.
Oh, right. Wait. What? They have not been looked at. Like, I'm sorry, but where have you been? Like,
I said they haven't been looked at as that hard. You look at it like, okay, let's say,
what rock do you
10 years ago?
What?
Okay, wait a minute. Check this out. Y'all, PC gamers is just not having their own award show.
Like game under? Because I don't know. Because as far as I remember,
tell me this.
Crysis was the hot shit like years ago.
A lot of stuff with PC gaming is just now coming to the mainstream. This shit's been underground for a long time.
Oh no!
Oh man,
this took a turn.
Underground.
Let me get my popcorn.
Underground. All right.
I'm letting it go. Keep talking. I know we're still talking Horizon. This is gonna get into
it. If it ain't multiplat,
what do you class as underground?
Underground as
really?
in like.
What do you class as? Yeah. Sorry, I'll let you talk.
Underground is like, okay, when you go to a major site, what's the main thing they're talking about? Out the gate, they're talking about
some
console.
bullshit.
No. See, that's the thinking of a PC game.
Am I
Because
wrong,
they're
though?
talking about console games. Now they're talking about console and PC games. Now, don't get it twisted. I'm not saying PC games is bullshit. I'm just saying they're getting their just due.
I think
But
I
before
think
got that
I think
reverse,
you're
man.
wrong here. I mean,
I definitely
just-
think that statement's a bit an error because PC games have always been out there. It just depends
only
on who's
now
paying
you guys have
attention.
noticed. Yeah,
Yes,
like
it's
they've
always been there. I mean, Tim
Remember, like, the
Schafer's
whole,
been
like-
Tim Schafer's been making games for years. All of a sudden now he's not. I mean, come on, these games have existed. They've always existed. It's just a matter of who's paying attention to it. Obviously, if you don't have a PC or a powerful enough PC, you're going to use those blockers and be like, nah, I'm not paying attention right now.
Like, remember way back when Crisis 1 came out, and like everyone was like, "Oh, can your
nobody
PC run
could play
Crisis?"
Crisis. Nobody could play it like it's
People were
supposed
still
to.
talking about it, and Crisis was
They was talking about the
a
fact that
PC
you
exclusive
needed.
back then.
They was talking about the fact you needed to work at NASA to play Crisis, man. Come on.
Again, it was not underground.
NASA obviously that also NASA. Yeah, NASA has really shitty computers, so that doesn't also make it.
But,
Yo, man,
okay,
come on. You look at the shit that's in the space.
From a person who consoles, like a lot of a lot of people in the console space wasn't paying attention to PC like that until probably late last generation, this generation.
But that's still don't get that. No, I guess you know what? It depends on.
Well, I'm not saying that PC is relevant because I've always known that PC is like Civilization and all those types of games are huge on PC. I'm not saying that PC is not huge. People that are only consoles, they really didn't give a fuck about PC. I think until maybe this.
That's exactly what I said. Where it was essentially. These again, all these articles and things on these sites, they're all they've always been talked about. You can go back into, you can go back on the Wayback Machine, which is an actual site you can go to. You can go back to IGN or any one of those old sites, right? And you can literally look on there. If you look at the headlines, you'll see like PC shit on there too. But the thing is that console gamers ain't going to pay attention to something they don't have or can't afford, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I could start looking at BMWs if I could only afford Honda.
Let me clear this up. To me, PC gaming was on the back burner because not one exclusive actually caught my attention. I've tried. Wait a minute, Max Payne. I played that on the PlayStation 1 and 2.
But that came out way after. It was on PC first.
Yeah, but.
But
that's it, man.
I love that.
We should probably go back to Fred.
No, but I played StarCraft on PC. I was a huge StarCraft gamer. I played all the Warcrafts, not World of Warcraft, but all three. I used to play RTS games, Command and Conquer. Those are all PC exclusives.
Yep.
Diablo.
Mm-hmm.
Warcraft before it was World of Warcraft.
You know what though?
World of Warcraft never came to console, but
yeah, we probably should get back to Horizon.
Yeah, let's get back to Horizon.
I want to say one thing.
Yeah, go ahead, Jaleesa.
One thing.
That's why I love Throwdown, by the way.
A lot of cats in here like that PC. I see. Let me ask you a question because a lot of people ask me about, okay, why should I own a PlayStation or other than exclusives? Because most people with Sony say, oh, you got exclusives such and such. About other than the multiplats and the graphics, what's the best like the games that you would be like? These are the games that you need to get for PC to be a PC game.
Depends what you like.
It could be almost anything. I mean, the experience that you get, it's beyond what you can play on a console if you have a good video card.
Because I know a lot of people that most of the time when they do have PCs, they play a lot of smaller type games, or maybe they'll play like like Civilization and shit like that. But you don't really need huge or humongous, like, how can I explain it?
It depends. Like he was gonna say, it depends on the game that they're into. If you want something like, if you want to start playing like first-person shooters, Call of Duty and stuff like that, you're gonna need a good video card, a strong video card. But if you're just doing Civilization, a few others, you don't really need all the resources.
Yeah, I just want to know. I'm like, yo, what games do I need to play if I want what?
Yeah, the thing is
other than the graphic.
Yeah, that question isn't really applicable for PC gaming because it's depending on the kind of person I like. With a console, it's easier to go, what kind of gamer am I? What kind of games am I looking forward to? With PC, it's so broad. Like there's dudes that just have like these $1 million PCs. They play old shit on it. Like it's different strokes for different folks.
The variety is enormous, and also PCs can run emulators, so you can actually play old consoles on your PC.
I play my Wii and stuff on my PC. I have a Dolphin, my emulator. So
I'm doing this shit on my MacBook right now.
Yeah. By the way, I want to give a quick shout out to Vishal Thind. He's like, but 90% of people on PC play on potato hardware.
Oh shit! Whoa!
What? I heard a lot of people's PCs ain't gonna even be able to outdo Scorpio. That's what Twitter be saying. I'm like,
according to Twitter, Scorpio has 4 fucking Titans in it. It's that powerful.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, 100% of consoles are potatoes.
Oh, Brian loves to talk.
Say something, please. I want you guys to say something.
I like potatoes.
I love potatoes.
You know,
my man Brian is fired up tonight, son.
Say something. Say that they're not potatoes. Tell them that consoles are not underpowered.
I do
because I see PS4
on
Horizon for a reason here.
I know a lot of people will say once you get a Horizon or Uncharted on your PC, then they'll come. Some people will say that. I wouldn't because
keep that trash off the PC.
I mean, it has been a lot of petitions for PC.
This has gone into a different direction now.
No, I'm just
like games.
I'm just bullshit. I ain't got nothing against PC gamers and just like Xbox gamers. As long as you playing games out there, I don't care what you playing on.
The haters have arrived.
I fucking love it. But anyway, let's get back on topic now. Horizon, the illest looking game of all time. Damn, now I lost track of thought. I wanted to ask Johnny a fucking question about the shit. Oh yeah, this is what I want to ask you. Tell me, okay, because you said this in your video. It's very important. Tell us, the experience when you played it on regular TV and then on 4K mode. Like, tell us about that shit. Because I was like, okay, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I had did a live stream of Horizon and because when you stream in HDR, it makes the colors like real dark. Like to the person watching the stream, but it looked regular to you, of course. But so I turned it off for streaming purposes, and I was having a good time. But before I ended the stream, I turned it back on to HDR, and I didn't realize how big of a difference it was until I looked at it again. I was like, "What the hell?" Like, bruh, huge difference. Like, this is the first game I ever played with HDR that I noticed a huge difference. Like, I played Uncharted 4 with HDR. It was a slight difference, nothing major. I played Resident Evil 7 with HDR. It made, the areas darker or whatnot, but as far as this HDR shit go, man, Horizon, it's the first game I played where I'm just like, wow, like, it's huge.
Yes, I saw a game at PC, it's like I played it at PSX. That's what I was trying to say. Play at PSX on regular TV, regular PS4. Then I saw it on a 4K TV on Pro. I'm like, damn, that shit is crazy. But even on 1080p, it still looks good,
You know what?
Yeah.
A fun thing that they actually did with that game. Some of the cinematics are
Eddie,
actually.
You're echoing, bro.
You got headphones?
I don't. He's not talking anyway. Go ahead, Manny.
Okay. So a lot of the, one thing they did was just kind of cool. It was like, okay, some of the cinematics, and you've said this before, that some of the cinematics are pre-rendered.
But they're still running in 4K though.
They're actually running in 4K. They're running in native 4K, which is interesting. So the game doesn't exactly run in native 4K. It runs in it, but those cinematics do.
Yeah. No, because I told you some of those cinematics threw me off because I would have a specific set of armor, right? And everything was fine during 90% of every cinema, but those main story cinemas, I'm like, why is she wearing the shit from the beginning of the game right now? Which is pretty crazy. Brian, you gonna say something?
Yeah, they're pre-rendered.
They're pre-rendered. Thankfully, they're 4K. You know how some games like it's lower res and shit.
1080 stuff. Yeah.
So at least they gave us that. It would have been 10. That would have been horrible, you know. But yeah, and the other thing I like about the game, obviously, is like the whole world. Like, I'm not gonna get into it because I'm not gonna spoil it, obviously. But it has this really cool sci-fi story, which is great, you know. Like, and I like the way it slowly unfolds. It just gives you just enough where it doesn't ruin it. Like, they could have easily fucked it up, and they did it right. And I heard the writer of Fallout New Vegas wrote it, and I heard that's probably the Fallout with the only good story, apparently. So like. That's coming through. And again, the thing I take away from this game is like, this is from Guerrilla Games. Like, the last game they put out was literally Killzone Shadowfall, one of the worst games I played. Here's the thing with me. I don't like to resell games. So I buy a game, I keep it, right? Even if it's just okay. I sold that shit fast after I beat it. Get that shit out of my house. I don't want it. That and gone.
Yeah, you sold both the launch titles, man.
Yeah, but so it was like, damn, and they came out with this shit. That's crazy. I was just about to get to my main thing, but Carlos, you said something that was interesting because I know you haven't been very keen on this generation, but you said that this was the real deal, man.
Yeah, this is the first game that kind of justifies like the jump, you know? Like, every game that I've played before this has, like, honestly could have been like a PS3, Xbox 360 title. Like, obviously it couldn't run on those systems. Like, a lot of those games, like Metal Gear wouldn't run on those. Actually, they could, but
Metal Gear did run on them.
Yeah, it actually did. But yeah, this is like the first game that like when I was like back in 2012 or 2013 when the new consoles came out. Like, I was thinking, what the hell is next gen? Like, people kept saying, "Oh, this is a next gen game. This is a next gen game. Is Shadow of Mordor a next gen game? Is whatever a next gen game?" And I'm like, nothing really surprises me. Nothing really like stands out for me. But this is like the first game to me that kind of takes a leap, and the crazy thing about this game, like I've been on the hype train since day one, since this shit got announced, and I like that it does everything extremely well. Like, of course, the first thing you see is the graphics. The graphics are fucking beautiful. Like, on my TV, son.
You got that 4K too, don't you?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
That shit looks fucking ridiculous, man. Like, I was sending those fucking screenshots like crazy. Like, I showed this lady on my work. I'm like, so what do you think this is? It's like one of the first scenes, and it's outside, and then she's like, I don't know, it's like some girl, and I'm like, no, this is a fucking video game. She's an older lady, right? And I showed her on my cell phone.
Stop lying to me, boy. I was like, this is how Carlos hits on bitches, son.
You want to see some badass video games? Come to my house.
Yo, man, like, it's
check it out on my TV.
Yeah, man, it's like, check it out on my TV. It looks even better, son.
Yeah, come over tonight. You know, I'll show you.
I got my cousin coming over too.
Yeah, I got my two cousins to validate this shit. Nah, but like, it does. To stay on topic, it does the fucking graphics freaking awesome. The gameplay is so fucking smooth. Like, you expect a game that looks that good to stutter a lot, especially like one of the first like intensive moments like in the game. Like, you expect slowdowns, but I didn't really see that. At least I didn't notice it, which is really good. And the story is really intriguing. Like, I like the whole post apocalyptic.
Yeah, post apocalypse.
They're fucking worshiping like fucking technology. That's how post it is, you know?
Yeah.
They do that in San Francisco right now.
Yeah.
It's happening, man.
One of the funny things about the game is though, like her fucking special abilities, some fucking Bluetooth in her fucking head, man. But
you know what's funny, because the game lets you do tracking missions, right? I'm like, for like 9 out of 10 of them, I'm like, you could have just did that shit with your own eyes. You didn't need that little Bluetooth thing in your head. You know, it's like, just follow the blood, you bitch, you're good. You know?
Yeah, like I hardly use it. The only time I use it is when I want to look at the weak spots.
Yeah, that's essential. Yeah,
I do that when I hunt.
Yes, with rabbits and shit. You know,
yeah. Like, we gotta kill a rat. You don't really see that, so you gotta like use it.
Yeah, exactly. And then you could also mark them too, which is
helpful. Fish and shit. Yeah,
hell yeah, man. I like that. The hunting is cool. But the thing is, here's the other thing I want to talk about. You guys got to admit, though, human battles are fucking boring, son. Like, you could kill a human with a bow and arrow and that's it. But those robots, Okay, I said this before. I'm gonna say it again. This is the game I always wanted Monster Hunter to be. Like when I first heard about the concept of Monster Hunter, I'm like, oh my god, you get to kill monsters. That's crazy. And you play the game, it's like, what the fuck kind of bullshit is this? You gotta like do this claw move and shit just to control it. I'm like on the PSP, if you guys remember, I'm like, what is this nonsense? This shit. It felt so good, especially when you take down those big motherfuckers, man. Thunderjaws and Stormbirds. Holy shit, man! And every battle is good. They don't get boring, you know.
Well, the thing about Monster Hunter is that there's no like not much of a forward moving narrative. It's like, you know, you kind of just perpetually kill these things to get supplies. That's pretty much the point of that game.
Yeah, but it's just the way they implemented it wasn't good to me, you know. But yeah, this shit, the monster hunts are crazy, you know. You have special hunts you do, which are really cool. You know, I wish they had more of them actually. You know, those are really fun. But the other thing I want to say, man, this was something you were hinting at before, right? And I need to say this. I'm going to get called a pony. I don't give a fuck. I need to say this, right? Horizon would not have existed under Microsoft. I'm going to explain why. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Check this out. Let's say, I know I don't like to get hypotheticals. I'm gonna do it. Let's say Guerrilla Games was under Microsoft, right? What would have happened to them if they delivered a game that didn't sell?
Close it down.
Close that motherfucker down.
No. Like think about it like this. Like what if Guerrilla Games was under Microsoft and Killzone Shadowfall was a system seller?
Yeah,
what would have happened is they would have told them to get more Killzone, and that's pretty much what a lot of the Microsoft studios have become.
Yeah, we like 343 and Coalition are good studios. We want them to make different games. We don't want a Gears every other year. We don't want a Halo every other year. We want them to make new games, like innovate. Like that's what gaming's all about.
Yeah, no, you're 100%. I didn't think about it, but you're 100% right. But the point I was trying to make is like, if this Killzone Shadowfall didn't do that well, I mean, it did okay, but whatever, right? If that was a Microsoft thing, they would have canceled shit, and we would never have seen Horizon. Here's the thing about Horizon: a lot of people don't know it's the studio. Sony didn't tell them make this game; they wanted to make the game. Sony's like, go for it, and you could tell that game they had passion for it. They didn't really have that much passion for Killzone. I would even say they pumped that shit out. Shadowfall, Sony probably go, hey, we need this game, you know, but Horizon is a game they wanted to make, and it's pretty evident in everything, because how do you go from literally one of your worst games to your, not even the best, like arguably the best, it is the best game Guerrilla's ever put out, like hands down.
I think in a lot of ways the Shadowfall was a little bit of the litmus test for that engine. Where it's the Decima, and they were, you know, essentially the engine is a kind of an iterative engine, and they've just been updating it. But I think that's the one that they're like, okay, so the first thing we're going to try to implement is the thing that we know, rather than start a new game with a new engine. They literally said, all right, we're going to do something we know, make this game, and then we'll continue to develop it for the next thing. If and I'm sure so, definitely. So Sony was like, oh yeah, sure, go for that thing.
Yeah, exactly. And if you guys remember back when Shadowfall first came out, I was saying, yeah, this game sucks, but that engine looks fucking nice, you know, and it's really taken to Eddie, man, you got some noises going on in the background, bro. You can't be fucking up Throwdown like that. I don't care if you're a guest, man. I'll call your ass out. Just mute yourself if you need to, man. But yeah, so yeah, that's some engine and some shit. By the way, this is what I found interesting when the credits roll, right? The first two people I get a special thanks, Hideo Kojima and Kenny Mizumi.
Actually, yeah, and that's Kenny Mizumi is his producer. Actually, the thing about it is that a lot of the development team got from Kojima Productions have gotten credits on there. That whole section which says special thanks in there, that they're all developer, all the programmers and developers. So. Which is what I think, and I think that this has come out that Kojima's company was assisting them with optimization of that game.
Yeah, well, this is what's
interesting.
Yeah, crazy, right? But this is what they said. Basically, they're sharing the engine right now, right? Like Kojima works with the engine, he figures out something cool, lets Guerrilla Games know, right? And then Guerrilla Games finds out something cool, then they let Kojima know. So there's a collaboration going on behind the scenes.
Yeah. I mean, if you remember that out of all the next generation games, Metal Gear Solid 5 per capita from PC to PlayStation 4 and Xbox, as well as the previous generation, all ran incredibly well.
Yeah. So yeah, in this game, there's no like technical. There's some little bullshit that happens because it's an open world game. Not on the level of Bethesda games though, but it's not that crazy. It really isn't. It's funny, and Johnny, I'm pretty sure you could agree with me. It's like you playing this shit, and you're like, how come Bethesda can't do a game like that?
Man, exactly. Like I haven't ran into any slowdown or I think one time I fell through something, but other than that, it's been flawless.
I think the thing is that granted,
the cat. Podcat.
Oh, there's my cat.
All right, go ahead.
So the thing is, I think that for Bethesda, there's just so many things within their world. Like there's yes, granted they're both open worlds, but there's still a difference of size of the amount of things that you can do and things that can go wrong within a Bethesda game. So you're always gonna run. I feel like it also with the Bethesda games that they need a little bit more time to kind of tweak and hone. But I definitely think because of the sheer size of those games, that there's always going to be something that can go wrong within it. And then also maybe
there's a lot more dynamic shit like random bugs or whatever that you have to place in the world. Horizon doesn't have any of that. Everything resets itself once you leave.
Mm-hmm.
So that probably helps.
You blow up the wall of some place, it just reforms again.
Yeah, like all the monsters come back. It's like I killed that big bitch. He's back. But yeah, it's great, man. Like this is the game. Yeah, like Carl said, this is the game we've been waiting for. Like there's nothing. Every game that's come out that's been good. There's always that something like, okay, this game's good, but even like the last candidate I had was Bloodborne. Great game, but the story, you have to dig really deep for that fucking story. This shit right here, the full package. It's fucking great. I love it.
Yeah, I will say that, and that's one of the things that I was worried about because how can I say this without being mean? Killzone stories are really not that good.
They're fucking trash.
Yeah, they're trash. Bullshit.
Them shit's
Space Nazis.
Hey,
why nobody just go ahead and say that Killzone was basically put out there to go against Halo, and it failed.
Oh yeah,
of course.
That's all it was.
That's exactly what it was.
Killzone 2 was the closest thing they had to something that could have went further. But yeah, because my first Killzone was 3, so I missed all the other ones until I went back because I didn't get a PlayStation till 2009, so I missed all of the Killzones and shit. But I was like, you know what? Yeah. I'm a little worried about this story because I don't know if I didn't know I know they said they hired some new people. I'm like, maybe this will help. I'm like, this gotta help. And I think it did.
Oh, it definitely did. Like I said, by the end, it's like, damn, I was surprised that they didn't fuck it up because there's always something like, damn, they stuck the landing on this shit, and even left it open for a sequel, which is great. I was surprised by that, I got to the proving
and shit went down and I'm like, holy shit. Okay, Guerrilla. Like, y'all actually are trying to tell a story and letting me know characters. Because most people who know Killzone, only thing they know is the fucking hell gas. Like, there's nothing important about none of the characters. You don't feel close to none of the characters. It's like the characters are just there and you just want to shoot people. You don't really care you don't care about the atmosphere or none of that shit.
You don't even know the main character's name. I can remember not one main character I played.
I don't even know.
The games suffer from being a little bit formulaic and stuff like that. I feel like with Horizon, it's them actually not, they're not trying to make this kind of, ultimate first person shooter, but actually something else, And
I'm glad
and it's also really cool that it's a different genre of games, or I don't know if you call it a different genre, but maybe different camera angle or whatever. Most studios don't usually make that sort of jump. They all of a sudden, the guys who made BioShock, right, all of a sudden aren't going to make a third person game. They're not going to. They don't usually stick with what they know. but it's nice to see that they decided to go with something different. It's like, okay, they could have made Horizon into first person, animal
shooter, right?
but you know what though? There are elements of Killzone in the game when it comes to like the dinosaurs and the futuristic type of thing.
Oh yeah. The technology definitely looks like Killzone, like the art design,
but they aren't. But I do see some of the Killzone in there a little bit, so that was kind of okay. I see they did throw some of it in there. Russia knew where it didn't have like it wasn't. They just didn't go to planet Mars. They did some of it in there.
It'd be some shit, right? If the Killzone universe and the Horizon universe somehow connect.
Yeah. I would hate that. I would hate that.
No, I would be hot though. I ain't
the
front.
Horizon universe is Killzone universe, like
way in the future.
Years,
Oh god, I would hate that.
And the machines are like programmed by the
It's all Hellgas shit.
My thing is, how the hell do you let a studio who has never done an RPG outdo some people who that's all they do is RPG? That made no sense. I'm like, how the fuck you let Guerrilla Games make a better RPG than you?
Here's the thing, but that's the thing. They're letting them test these sorts of things out. You know what I mean? So I mean, Sony, that's just the way Sony's third party and their relations work with these sorts of things. Where like essentially the Sony PlayStation brand was an offshoot of off of their music branch. So they have a lot of those same sensibilities where let the artists do what they need to do, and they'll do the best they can with what they have. I mean, obviously, you still have situations like the guys that made the Grand Theft Auto-ish game. What was it? The Getaway? Or was it Getaway?
Yeah, Getaway.
Mm-hmm. The Getaway.
Needs to come back.
You have those guys that, as soon as the second game came out, they closed them down. So,
Yeah, I mean, I understand that too. But from me seeing this, now I'm wondering what the hell is Sucker Punch doing? Like, they're doing something completely different from Infamous, and what are some of these other studios doing? Because I'm like, okay, like I think Sony is seeing that this running with all the franchises from PS3 not gonna work no more. You know what I'm saying? That they got to bring some new and fresh ideas, which is what they do every generation anyway. So they don't care about killing no franchises.
I knew Brian was going to jump in. SOCOM, Brian.
SOCOM, Typhon Filter, Mag.
Yeah, they killed a lot of them, bro.
Yeah.
Don't say Siphon Filter, because that's like my favorite franchise of all time. I'm a little pissed.
Where is it, man? I'm just out here just looking at PS4 and like people are saying like, oh yeah, there's two games.
No, they're making Days Gone right now.
Yeah, they're making Days Gone, man. I'm happy for them though. Let them make something other than a Vita game, because that's what last thing they did was a Vita game.
Make Siphon Filter, man. The people want Siphon Filter.
The last time I read about Siphon Filter,
man, I don't want them to, because if they do Siphon Filter over, they would have to restart the whole franchise.
Yeah, because they killed the main guy.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, game over. I don't know, man. I want Siphon Filter, but I want to see what Days Gone is about. It's different.
I'm a little bit at odds with Days Gone. I kind of feel like
I'm tired of zombie games, man.
Tired of zombie games.
I'm done. You know.
I
mean, granted, it's incredibly impressive that you got like 10,000 zombies running after you at one time.
Yeah.
At the same time, it's like we got to do this.
Still
again.
Zombies.
It's like,
how far can you
not
take
running around taking pictures of them?
Oh
shit!
Shots. Okay.
All right, man.
You wouldn't take no photo shoots on them joints.
You know.
Hey, but at least they tried something different. Take some photos of some zombies.
They tried something different 4 times.
Well, they tried something different 4 times because it made money. That's why. That's what happened.
Shit.
Capcom.
Yeah. I want to give a quick shout out to Mr. Richard Bailey Jr., who's in the chat with us right now.
Mr.
Richard. All right, let's move on, man. Let's talk about some news, man. Xbox Game Pass, man. They announced this shit. So basically, I'm gonna call it as their answer to PlayStation Now, right? For $9.99 a month, you get 100 games. You could download directly to your shit and play them, and they cycle them out every month and stuff. And if you like the game, you could buy it at a discount That sounds pretty cool to me. You know, I got to give Microsoft props on that one. Granted, they're just giving these guys more old games again, but it's a cool service. You know,
how does this?
Wait, can I ask like one quick question? Can you play the games offline?
Of course you can. You can download them. Oh, actually, Brian,
you can. You can play it offline.
Okay, that's a good question though. Because if you can download them, like, do you have to check in? Yeah.
Nope.
Okay, I got a question too. Will there be any like new games added to this? Like,
yeah, they said every month it's gonna be cycled in. You know, it's like Netflix. They're gonna cycle in some.
You talking about new releases?
No, new releases.
Oh, the Halo 5 is gonna be on it. So
I said new releases.
Someone new.
That is a new release though, compared to PlayStation.
Yeah, that ain't the old.
Yeah, come on now.
No, you're not gonna expect like friggin' Halo Wars to show up on that right now. You know, if it just shipped right out now, Halo Wars is on there.
There's like a lot like 360 backwards compatibility.
Oh yeah.
But my thing is, what I don't get is, what's the difference between the Game Pass and games with gold? Are they going to be some of the same games? Or are they going to be completely?
No, it'll be separate. And it's all up to the publishers, because Phil had talked about it. It was all up to the publishers.
Uncle Phil.
The publishers decide that they want to opt certain games in, and that's what it is. And the same thing with games with gold. You know, if they say, you know what, we don't want Mass Effect 2 on this, we want it on Games of Gold. All right, well, whatever.
It might, the thing is that the only problem I can see with this is that it might affect the Games with Gold, because you remember that this is a totally different SKU you have right now.
Oh, but I'm hearing that they're going to make multiplayer free. That's one of the things they want to announce. They're no longer going to charge for that.
Whoa.
So wait, so they're getting rid of Games with Gold?
No, Games with Gold will still be there. It'll still be there, but you won't have to pay for.
So you'll get free games and free online.
No, you pay for the games.
I'll play for the games.
It's free.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're going to the old PlayStation thing, where now you get, but that's a weird thing, because it's like.
It's just like all these phone companies giving unlimited service when we used to have unlimited data back in the day.
Yeah, but if you got Game Pass, why do you need to buy Game with Gold though?
Well, because those you keep. Remember, you keep those games.
Okay.
Games with Gold just games you keep. The other one's just a rental.
Yeah, even if you download.
Wait a minute.
So it's basically like PlayStation Now, only you download them.
Yeah, you don't have to stream them. If you ever streamed one of those games, you'll know that's a big downfall right there.
That's my main reason for not getting PlayStation Now.
And the other thing about this, isn't there that they give you a bit of a discount, because if you do have games with
20%. Yeah, you get 20%. And you get 20% of the new price. So it's not like 20% of when the game was $60. If the game is $20, you get 20% off.
No. I mean, like, if you're on if you have Games with Gold and you have, what do we call this?
It's Xbox Game Pass. That's what it's called.
Yeah. And Game Pass and Games with Gold. If you have both of them on the same time, if you opt into Game Pass, does that mean you get a discount because you already are paying for Games with Gold?
You get a discount.
It's not a double discount. It's just 20%. He said 20%.
No, I mean I'm not talking about the actual games. I'm not talking about.
No, it's gonna be the same price, $9.99.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're talking about a subscription.
Yeah, man, you got there's a because this is already a subscription that you're already subscribing to Games with Gold. You're also subscribing to this.
Well, it's nothing new to them. Remember, the EA Pass is on there.
Yeah, the EA access.
Yeah,
I know, but again, this is through Microsoft. If you're already paying for one, why don't they give you a little bit of a gimme on the subscription rental program?
They want your money.
Well, that's the same shit we talked about when it comes to the PlayStation and the music and all that shit.
To be honest, it doesn't. To be honest, if they're moving online to free, so that means that you could literally just say fuck Games with Gold. Seriously,
then you won't then you won't get those games.
Who cares? Because at the same time, you could just buy the damn game, and they give you discounts all the damn time. So what? And what on Games with Gold has been decent? Is Halo going to be on there? Obviously,
Halo's been on there. Halo's been on there.
No, Halo 5. Like, is Halo 5 going to be on there?
Halo 5's going to be on Game Pass.
It's going to be on Game Pass. So you're probably never going to see that shit on Games with Gold. So all this is just. So all this is I feel like they need to make this a little less cut and dry. Games with Gold should still include this system with it.
They're trying to do the Spotify and the Netflix model. People just don't like owning shit. They just don't care. You know, so it's like, all right, if you don't really care about owning anything anymore, then how about you pay us $9.99 and you get all these games you get to play, and it rotates all the time, and that brings in the casual gamer, the person that doesn't give a shit about the new games, just wants to play something now. Like, all right, well, I got this console, I never have to think about it. For the price of a $60 game, you're getting 6 months. You know what I mean? It's like, so it's like, all right, $10. I got 100 games. I feel like playing something right now. Let me go see what's there. Oh, all right, I'll play this. What?
Yeah.
I mean,
It works for the soccer mom. If I was younger and this came out, my mom would go straight for it.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, I'm not buying no $60 games each time. I'm giving you this damn $9.99 a month. You got 100 games.
So again, you pretty much don't need games with gold then.
That's kind of what I'm understanding about it too. Like
that's to me, it X's out games with gold for the one reason that you only get these specific. You get these, obviously, you get these free games, but that's all you're really paying for is the free games with gold now.
And then because there's discounts. They do the discounts like the way Plus will do the discounts.
Yeah,
so something's getting ready to get phased out.
Yeah, something. The only thing about it is that something is going to get closed out because
they're changing something. Because that's one of the things he clearly said. He was like, "We are not phasing it out, but there will be changes made."
Yeah, I feel like I feel like the minute obviously they've removed that portion of where you have to pay for online now, right?
That's
so that now exactly what are you paying for other than
you don't have to pay online for games, Game Pass games. Like you still have to pay online for the other shit, like Gears of War 6 or whatever. You still have to pay for that online.
No, then you just say
he's saying online overall.
Yeah, really? I thought it was just for Game Pass.
No.
Is it just it's all around, right?
I thought he was saying it was a rumor.
It's a rumor because what they say.
So
don't throw in rumors, son. You're
you're throwing this shit off, man.
No. I said the rumor right from the beginning because he said Phil Spencer said they were making changes, but they guaranteed some things.
Okay, so let's take the online aspect completely out of it because that's not concrete. But I want to go back to something Adam said because this is a very important thing to think about. This service is not for the hardcore gamer. This is for soccer moms and casual people. That's what it's really for, and it's not bad if you think about it.
Wait till Christmas. They're going to eat it up.
Games. They don't care. It's like if the game gets faced, I was like, I had my fun with it. Mainly, like we always talk about, people don't even finish games.
Yeah, most people don't finish games.
Well, they know that.
This is really more geared for the casuals.
I'm telling you, my mom is gonna go in GameStop and they're gonna ask him about this and that, and they're gonna see that $60, and then the guy gonna be like, "Yeah, we got this Xbox Game Pass," and she gonna hear about all those. Okay, we're gonna get that right there. Like,
well, this the thing about it though. It's
so you said at $9.99 with all those games, nothing else is gonna matter.
Yeah, go ahead, Eddie.
Yeah, but the thing is like okay, it's a guy that's in the preview program that's got it right now. And it's like 21 games, right? But 16 of them are 360 games.
Oh yeah, but everybody already knew that the vast majority of games were always going to be 360 games. Everybody knew that. Xbox doesn't have 100 games, I don't think. Let's just be honest,
Yeah, but I will say this though: on PlayStation, it's a shit ton of games on there. I can't even front and be like it isn't. If it wasn't streaming and it was downloading, I think it would be a lot better.
Not overpriced.
That's what Sony shot themselves.
I mean, now is crazy.
The thing is that it may mean that that PlayStation now needs to start thinking about making a competitive price.
Yeah.
How much is it? How much is it for a month of PlayStation now?
Like $25, ain't it?
It's like $25.
For no. Okay, it's like $20 for a month, and then $45 for 3 months.
Man, fuck
the
that.
Prices, fuck that shit.
They really. The thing is that obviously, you're still paying for them to do their little streaming bullshit, but at the same time, it's like these are games that you probably. And then the other silly shit about it is that, like, what if you want to play a game that you already own? You can't stick this shit in there.
I do wish they had that. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah. I still think the pricing for this is way better than PS Now. PS Now needs to lower that.
Yeah, definitely better than PS
Now. Besides the fact you don't even get to keep it. I mean, download it, it's only like hours, right? It's like 48-hour rentals and shit. It's like some weird.
No. That's if you don't buy in. Like
Well,
you can
pay that $100
it's certain
a year.
games that you can do that, but like if you I haven't been on there lately, but they do, like if you go on PlayStation blog, they'll tell you what games they added, and it's the catalog is huge. It's just the premise of like the whole foundation of PlayStation now is what most people don't like.
Now, does your save files carry over? Let's say if there was a game that you owned that was physical.
Some of them
PlayStation
do.
Now, yeah, it does. Yeah.
Some of them do.
It's on the cloud.
Yeah.
It's on the cloud. Yeah.
Because my homeboy Bari plays PlayStation Now, and he uses it a lot actually. And he played The Last of Us, and his save file from the multiplayer showed up on there, and Uncharted as well.
All right, so there you go. So yeah,
but again, it is a much better competitive price, and then you also don't need to deal with the bullshit of freaking of streaming.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I mean, our infrastructure is still not good enough to play like a game like Street Fighter.
Yeah, I think Sony. I understand where they were trying to go, but we just not there yet.
It was their. I mean, to be honest, it was their solution as to not have to go in and develop a shitload of redevelop a bunch of PlayStation 3 games that run on that the cell architecture. That's the thing that killed the whole thing.
Mm-hmm. It bit them in the ass.
You can blame the father of PlayStation for that one.
But that's just Sony's like continuous effort to do the Me Too strategy. They've done this like in every aspect in game industry. Like, for example, On Life came out, and then they bought Gaikai to compete with that. Then the PlayStation Move to compete with the Wii, and then PSVR to compete with fucking Oculus. Like
there is no question that friggin' Sony is in when it comes to certain things. They have their finger on the pulse, and they're not far from being like, well, let's just pull the trigger and get this shit in the door. I mean, friggin' Microsoft does the same damn thing.
Yeah, and for example, OnLive gave up on their service a long time ago. Sony still has to see when the hell they're going to pull the plug, because I don't think their service is like benefiting them right now.
They just got to lower the price, like.
Yeah,
that's the main issue. If they made it $10 a month, hell, I buy it. They got like 400 games on there.
Again, $10. If you do like $10 a month, and then you get a little bit of a cut off, like maybe a 20% cut off on the friggin'
PS Plus member
of your PlayStation Plus member, that would be straight.
Hell yeah!
What about
Sony, do that, man?
They ain't gonna do no 20%.
They just gotta change.
Listen, that shit does not cost them that much money. Seriously, man. It's just a ROM in the virtual space. It's literally running you're literally running a PlayStation somewhere else, and you're playing a PlayStation 3 somewhere else.
Yeah, the thing that's going to cost the most is the remote servers that are running the games. That's it's the bulk of it.
Yeah, and then the other thing I want to talk about this is Microsoft's wording was very interesting, because remember, we always had to look at the wording, because they were asked, is this service coming to PC? Right, because Xbox One, it's only exclusive for that, and Microsoft said it's only coming to Xbox One this spring.
Wow. Yeah, he said he plans on
Isn't
bringing
that
it.
interesting?
He plans on bringing it.
Hold up.
Well, wait a minute. Didn't he say he was bringing some more games to PC though?
So Mofos is so happy go lucky and was like, it's only on Xbox, but it's coming to PC later. Ain't that some?
Well, no. Here's the thing. Within the wording of it, they're leaving the door open.
Yeah,
when they say shit like right now, or timed exclusive, stuff like that.
Like Tomb Raider,
holiday 2015, and we was like, huh? Holiday? They just said holiday 2015. They didn't say nothing else.
And that already let you know everything you needed to know. If you're in the know, you know exactly what they were talking about. Everybody else was like, oh, but it's exclusive. They said so. Exclusive. Like, did you not hear the rest of it? Exclusive holiday 2015. That means outside of 2015, anything can happen. And what happened in winter, the shit came to PC, right there. So watch the wording. So I wouldn't be surprised if this comes to PC. But my thing is like, did they resolve the problem of getting 360 games on PC? Wasn't that an issue before?
Yeah, there are no issues with that.
You know, well, again, that's what Microsoft said. So who knows?
The issue, you want to know what the issue is? Is they were developing this shit. That's what the issue was.
Because I'm like, the 360 games are just emulators, right? So you can't download that to your computer. I don't see why not, right?
Yeah, they're just doing that.
But again, if you could do that on your PC, Xbox 360 games, what the fuck do you need an Xbox One for?
Again, like I'm saying, is the Xbox brand is going to become it's an ecosystem. It's not going to be just a system. I mean, what Spencer said it before. He said that the Xbox division is in control of Windows gaming.
Yeah.
What does that tell you? That's not just hearsay. He said that shit himself. So I think that the way it's going to work is that Xbox is going to be like something it's going to be the game division, the game area.
You think it's going to become a service, basically?
Yeah, it's going to be the service. It's going to be like, what is gaming? Gaming is Xbox. That's what this is, and it doesn't matter what you're on. Your PC can be an Xbox, or you can get an Xbox.
So you're saying we might get a Xbox app on the PlayStation?
Oh,
hey, in the future, you never.
I didn't say it. I didn't say it.
Only Jack move.
I am not saying that. I'm not saying that, but it is a possibility. If the console side of Xbox, because remember, Microsoft has in the past looked to cut the Xbox brand off.
Mm-hmm.
Like they have looked to saying, okay, we're just going to drop the Xbox and it's going to be something else. So what if they decide to fold it back into Microsoft again? You know what I mean?
A lot of people that I know keep saying like Microsoft is about to make the Xbox a service.
Yeah, I can see that.
I think that's
saying that shit.
Yeah, I think that's where the future of Xbox is. That it's going to be that it's the ecosystem of service. So it's like if you don't own an actual Xbox console, you have a PC, you can play Xbox games. If you have an Xbox console, you can play all those games over. And then the joint saving thing where you can play you can play anywhere and all that other stuff. To me, this makes the most sense for a company like Microsoft to do. Rather than just have these divisions that are all chopped in half, where you have the Windows game division, and then you have the have the Xbox division. Why not fold that into one thing? And then if you're not willing to, maybe you don't have a powerful PC, well, then you have an Xbox One, and you don't need to deal with all the other bullshit that has to go with PCs.
Yeah. Well, also Microsoft can do something smart with the Scorpio if they can succeed in getting a PC in the living room where Valve couldn't do it. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
So,
and isn't that where somewhat of what they were trying to do, maybe within the Xbox 360 generation?
Right, but 360 was too weak to accomplish that. And even Xbox One, like that's what they want to do with Scorpio. And I think after Scorpio, I believe you're right. I think they'll move to a service, but Scorpio is it, right? If Scorpio doesn't do well, then then it's not going to be another one.
Do y'all remember the heart of what Xbox is supposed to be? It's supposed to be bringing PC games to console. It's supposed to be like a mini PC to put onto your TV. That's what the original plan for Xbox.
Yeah, the direct Xbox. That's right.
Yeah. So eventually, they're probably just doing a 360, trying to get back to that idea.
Ironic.
Yeah, right.
They're doing a 360.
But that's what they've been doing though. The Scorpio is it's a PC. So is the Xbox One. It's a PC that doesn't have the Windows 10 desktop operating system, So like
it has a really lousy operation system.
Yeah.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, somebody in the Windows division needs to look at the Xbox menu and design something a little bit better.
Like so what's Microsoft like? Why can't they include the Windows OS on their Scorpios? Like I don't see why they couldn't.
I don't know why they don't do that. They should. Well, the
Yeah,
thing is
right.
that
You don't
the thing
know.
isn't though the thing is that isn't the Xbox One OS kind of like a weird gimped version of Windows?
Kind of.
OS?
Yeah.
I just wonder why they went away from 360. 360 was just so like the dashboard and all that stuff was so easy to.
Need to bring that back.
Sales evolved.
The one thing, the 360.
I'm not even a 360 fan, and I'll say that much.
The 360, I mean, the 360 one felt a little bit open. Like, in other words, it felt alive. Like, whereas now you're kind of covered up with a bunch of windows that don't connect, or it was. I remember messing with that Xbox menu and it's just.
Let me tell you, it's the only thing worse than tiles. I hate the tiles in Windows 10, and this is.
Yeah, like I'll tell people in a minute. I'm not a fan of certain games and stuff like that from Microsoft, but I love their dashboard. Like the dashboard was so easy to maneuver around and find shit, and you know what I'm saying. You do your little avatar and give them clothes and stuff. And
I'm on the 360.
Yeah, the 360. Everything was easy to find.
Yep.
It was so many ads though, man. You had to go through like 50 damn Dorito ads and Mountain Dew ads just to get to a game.
But it wasn't like not like it is now though. It, like you got to do this and do that to go here and do it. Like I know some people like literally had to go on YouTube to figure out how to get the shit.
That's bad.
That's crazy. All right, let's move on here. We got to talk about a topic that may trigger people, especially if you're a trophy hunter. So,
Jack move.
Jack, you guys talked about this on Weapon Wheel. Now we got to talk about this shit. All right, so Nier Automata game comes out next week. Apparently, after the third time you play the game, you are allowed to use in-game currency to buy trophies. That is heresy. like that's a game. Like if you get a platinum for it, you're gonna be suspect. I'm like, oh really? Did you get it legit or did you buy that trophy? You know?
Well, they would know. They would know because it means you beat the game. If you saw that. They beat the game, then there's a good chance they probably went through that.
Yeah, but the thing is, I'm sure the one trophy that you can't get is the one from beating the game the first time.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that is true.
So the thing is that's the one. Here's the thing. I'm going to explain this a little bit because there's a little bit of a method to the madness behind that. And it has to do with the creator of the game Nier. Now, in general, this guy, if you've obviously seen this guy on TV, on the interviews and shit. This guy's like wearing a mask and he's rolling around on the ground, saying all kinds of crazy shit. The one thing about him is that he's kind of anti-tropes of gaming. The original Nier, in a lot of ways, went against a lot of the tropes of Japanese games and stuff like that. And that is kind of, I think, what this is an answer to. It's essentially... He is saying that it doesn't matter. Trophies don't matter. Or achievements don't matter. You've already gone through the game. I'll give you this. And I think that's what it comes from.
Nah, I can't endorse this shit.
See, the thing is that he's essentially trying to go against the trope that this is something that matters. Which, here's the thing. If you think about it, it is a bit of a reward for. I mean, dude, you got to play the game like 3 damn times to do this.
Still, it takes.
And you still have to earn a certain amount of in-game currency to buy it.
Yeah, who knows? They haven't said how much of these things cost, how much each trophy costs, or anything like that. And the thing is, it's like, I mean, the thing is that throughout the game, you're probably going to earn a lot of the trophies in general. And who's to say how many trophies are in the game? Maybe this guy even did some more bullshit to fuck with people where they're all bronze trophies.
Okay,
but he's got like 1 billion bronze trophies. Right?
Yeah. No, Johnny, I want your specific take on this. But before that, how many platinums do you have again, bro?
I have 95 platinums currently.
Okay, so as a man who has 95 platinums, what do you think about this?
I can't condone it. To me, it's bullshit. But like Emilio said, we don't know how difficult it is to, pull this shit off. But either way, just other developers like to bite what other ones doing, borrow from it. It's setting a bad tone for the gaming industry. If they say, and people like to take the easy way out. So imagine if you hearing about a game come out, you really ain't fucking with the game, but they say, this game you can buy the platinum. What's
easy about playing the game 3 times?
It depends on what
Is the
you
game-
like it finesse.
I mean,
You never know.
the thing is that each when you complete the game, it's like like when you like play like Dark Souls or something like that, the game gets harder. It's not like the game stays the same.
That's true. That's true.
The second playthrough, you're not even playing the same character. You're playing another character from a different point of view.
But you know though, like say for instance, a game like The Last of Us, technically you need to beat The Last of Us roughly 3 times to get the platinum. It's a workaround where you can play the game twice to get the platinum. So people are gonna find exploits for this. They're gonna find a way you can buy trophies you're not supposed to be able to buy. It's gonna be some bullshit with this.
Yeah, let me buy that.
I think it. Yeah,
Oh, you go.
it might change up. I think things might change up. I could see them if this does go through. Because remember, it's all about money. All these publishers just want to make money, and I could see where they were like, you know what? If you hit 75%, or if you, let's say you beat the game on hard or something, but you didn't do insane, don't worry. Give us $199. We'll unlock that.
Exactly.
Here's the thing. You still have to
triggered right now.
The thing is that you're still. We're not talking about real money because there's no.
But it can lead to that road.
Yeah, it can lead to that though.
Yeah.
The thing is that there's already been something like this already, and it hasn't worked.
Mortal Kombat.
Wait, what game lets you buy trophies?
He
Not
just
trophies,
mentioned
but
it.
fatalities. Mortal Kombat.
You can buy
fatalities.
Yeah, that was
You can buy the fatalities. The thing is that like other games have tried techniques like this before, where they've
Oh man, what was it? There was I want to say Need for Speed, where it was like you can unlock all the cars and stuff. But
and then it unlocks a bunch of
yeah,
trophies.
and then a bunch of the achievements. I remember I did on Xbox. A bunch of them just started popping up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because somebody was just buying all the cars. But the thing is, I don't think it's supposed to be something like that. Again, you still need to work for this. You still need to beat the game 3 fucking times. And it took somebody. I mean, granted, the game has already been out a month in Japan, and now anybody's figuring that shit out, right?
That's true.
So here's the thing. I think it's this the director just fucking with this sort of idea. I don't think that every game is, maybe somebody else might decide to do it, but I don't think it's going to be. Again, you still need to work for this shit. You're going to be playing the game three. You're going to be playing the game three damn times.
What would have been interesting if he would have made it like, let's say you beat the game 3 times, you lock all trophies besides one, and you trying to figure out how you unlock this one trophy, and all you do is pay for in-game currency. That would have been cool.
Yeah, some shit like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been real cool.
But even then, though, you can't say you really earned that platinum.
I mean, if that's the requirement.
Yeah. No, I'm saying. That's the requirement to unlock that trophy.
Okay, yeah. If the requirement is you have to. Okay. On that, I'll give you. If it's like, okay, this trophy will only unlock if you buy it. Okay, but if it's like, let's say, kill 100 monsters and you don't do that for whatever reason, buy it and you get the platinum. You know what I'm saying? It's like, come on, bro.
Nah.
Really?
I
don't. The thing is that did they say that this press release or whatever who found this out? Did they say it was all the trophies?
No, they said you could buy trophies. That's all they said.
You can buy trophies. So here's the thing: there's a good chance that there might be things that are definitely locked.
Yeah, maybe.
As I know with this creator, there's usually like 7 fucking endings to this game, and I'm sure there's a friggin' trophy for every single ending that you've seen.
Yeah, probably.
So this dude is kind of weird, like the creator for what's the Tecmo fighting game, Dead or Alive. He's weird like that kind of.
He's if you took that guy and then you took the guy Miyazaki guy and you mixed them together.
Ah, shit.
Because he's just that weird. Like this game also, like if you ever played the last game, like this game in a weird, it somehow connects to the last game, but it doesn't. It's a sequel, but not.
And by the way, yeah, the game, no surprise, does have multiple endings.
It does. It has from the last game, I've heard that there was like 7 different types of endings depending on the different things that you do in the game. So
I'm gonna tell you right
who's
now.
Who's to say you get a bunch of some of those bullshit trophies like racing and collecting shit trophies? Who's to say that those trophies are the cheapy bronze ones aren't the ones that you can't get?
Yeah,
well,
no. The reason I'm laughing, by the way, is because like Kotaku wrote a whole article specifically about that. It's like this guy's crazy. He'll do shit like this.
Exactly. That's what I said. He is kind of a weird cat. So he's gonna do shit to kind of fuck with the system.
Yeah, this is what they wrote. They go, director Yoko Taro has always been fond of blurring the lines between the real world and his games. He's deleted save files, deliberately changed visual perspectives and genres game, and allowed players to kill themselves by unequipping essential items. This is just another forced decision from a designer who was eager to play around with his games. So
one of the endings in the original Nier game was so you do all this stuff and you find all this information, right? And one of them was to sacrifice yourself and delete yourself from reality so that everybody that knew you doesn't know you anymore. So what it does is it literally deletes all your saves for that game.
What the fuck?
And then it doesn't allow you to use that name ever again.
Yo,
so this guy really
would piss me off.
This is one of the endings for that game. For that game,
he's the type to just give you a big middle finger whenever.
He's a troll.
It's not really a middle finger. It's more like it's a choice. You've literally chosen to delete yourself from reality, which literally means delete yourself from the game.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I want to play this shit now, but I don't want to play it to to do this shit with the trophies. I just want to play just to see the creativity behind
the weird shit that he's gonna do.
Yeah.
Now there's a lot. There's so many, from what I've heard, there's so many kind of quirky little things inside of the game, and even multiple playthroughs offer different perspectives, as well as just you get to keep all your shit from the last playthrough.
This sounds like Silent Hill 2 when you had all these different multiple endings and you had some of the craziest shit.
It's like the dog ending from Silent Hill, right? Where you gotta, or the other one where to get the good ending, you have to look at your picture certain amount of hours.
Yeah, shit like that. Yeah, I want to play it, but I'm not gonna, I'll try to get 2-3 endings, but I'm not trying to get all of that shit because my attention span ain't that long to keep playing something over and over.
The thing is that, again, we don't know if it's the ending trophies too, like getting X ending or doing certain things. So it might just be bullshit trophies like, hey, look, I got this thing. But even getting a trophy for getting this certain thing, you never got that thing. You know what I mean? Who's to say that you buying that trophy or, not achieving that one thing in there doesn't allow you to get to this item, see? That's the type of shit that guy would probably do. It's like, okay, you bought the trophy to get this crazy special item, right? Like, let's say they have it sounds like in Dark Souls or Bloodborne, where it's like you get a trophy for getting all the items, right? Okay, so let's say you bought the all items trophy in Nier. Then maybe that locks out all those stupid items.
That'd be fucked up.
That's the type of shit that guy might do.
But that'll piss you off.
Now, Manny, the other thing you wanted to talk about with Nier and Scalebound. You were talking about this on the phone earlier tonight. What's going on? What's your theory here?
Okay, this is this is all tinfoil hat speculation, but based on
that's my territory.
Yeah.
This is okay. So. Okay, the one thing to know about the game Nier is that game shouldn't have been made. The original Nier game did not do well. In fact, Square was totally adamant of not doing a sequel to that game because it did so badly. But it has a cult following, and a lot of fans were like, "Oh, we really want," Anyway, so what happened is the director of the current Dragon Quest literally said, "I will leave friggin' Squaresoft if you don't work with this guy to make a sequel to Nier." So Square's like, all right, but we'll do this, but this game has to be good. So then Platinum Games chimes in and says, yo, man, we love that game. We'll do that shit. We've been proven to make really good games, so let's do it. We'll do that. So, okay, now you have Platinum Games on there. Platinum Games, the Nier engine is actually a totally new engine. It's not the engine they've been using before. They've made a totally new engine for this game. Now, where is that? If these guys are going in and saying, okay, this is the game that we really want to work on. We love this game. And then you have this other game for another company. What do you think happened?
Oh,
They moved people. They were moved. They were using. This is my theory. They were using the funding from that other game, from Scalebound, to help to assist in development in Nier. If you look at the size of Nier and how big that fucking game is, this game has like at one point it's like a side-scrolling beat 'em up. Then it's a third-person open world game. Then it has all this other crazy shit in there too. What was happening there?
So
how could you make a game? How could you make a game of this size?
So wait a minute,
and not have the other one suffer. So
let me get.
Yeah, Johnny, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
You saying Uncle Phil caught him with their hand in the cookie jar? Is what you saying?
That's exactly.
Okay.
That is exactly what I think happened.
Bot's been saying that.
I think
Bot's been saying that forever.
I think people went and played that game and was like, "What the hell is this?"
I think. Oh, go ahead, Chris.
Well,
yeah, Chris, go ahead.
That was my original theory with ARMS, but like I said a similar thing, but it makes sense now with Nier. They were spread too thin, and they gave the priority to those games.
The Japanese game.
And Phil Spencer probably went there and said, "What is happening?" And then found out he probably popped a blood vessel.
He came out and said it. He was like, they were not doing what he wanted. It was not in his vision.
Because it had been in development for like 5 years, I believe.
Did you know that also the main Platinum Games guy, the guy who's always blocking everybody?
Oh,
he blocked Phil Spencer, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh,
Microsoft.
I'm gonna say this. I mean, again, there's obviously some sort of bad blood that happened there, and I think that Nier was what it was. Nier was the thing that they really wanted to do. Scalebound was paying the bills, and that's what a lot of those lousy Platinum Games were doing. They were paying off the bills.
They can get sued.
I'm telling you, all those shit ass games that they came out, with the exception of Transformers was pretty decent, but with the exception of a lot of those lousy games that they've been putting out, I think those games were just paying the bills, and really the thing that they were really developing was something like a Nier.
Oh, that's a crazy thing.
Nier is doing very good with reviews too. I think it's got above a 90 on Metacritic.
Got a 93.
Yeah.
Oh,
so how
shit,
do you?
really?
So how do you go from making a piece of shit like Ninja Turtles, and then all of a sudden making this amazing open world game with a bunch of different genres mixed in a whole RPG with 1,000 different weapons and trophies you could buy? Their focus was on Nier.
Yeah, so just to summarize, in case people didn't get it. Basically, Manny's saying that he believes that Platinum Games used the funding that they got for Scalebound to fund Nier. Very interesting if true. Man, I want to read the expose in 10 years, man.
It makes sense though when you think about it, because I think Nier may have been the game that they actually wanted to work on.
It makes sense.
Well, Microsoft was. If that's true, Microsoft would sue the hell out of Platinum Games.
Yeah. It'd be if they can prove it, though. If they can prove it.
Yeah, if they can prove it.
Who's it? Says nobody's ever. Has anybody played Scalebound? No, nobody's ever played Scalebound. They've only shown some cinematics and maybe some limited gameplay. Phil Spencer's probably played it.
Microsoft probably have, and that's why they canceled that bitch. They probably played it and was like, "Yo, this shit is not
they're like, we're paying you to do something good, and what is this shit? We got Ninja Turtles again."
Microsoft must have. They must have done something to piss them off, because it's like Japan developers don't respect them.
I don't.
They're American.
Japanese developers notoriously do not respect a lot of the Western developers.
Nope.
And I'm thinking that maybe there was a situation where maybe Spencer was maybe being a little bit heavy-handed with them or something. So he did not understand something about Japan that was maybe causing them to do this. So I definitely think they just pulled people off. And they're like, well, we just make a decent enough game, and they're still paying the bill, so we can develop this new engine in this fancy game.
This is a tinfoil hat theory, so.
It is a tinfoil hat theory, and we could find out it could be something different. But I definitely think that they were diverting resources to develop Nier, and it's
So-
new
We won't
engine.
know until 10 years from now.
So-
Right now,
Oh, yeah.
we won't know because
So when Phil Spencer said that canceling Scalebound was for the greater good, does he really mean that they were focusing more efforts on Nier to make Nier a better game?
I think he meant. I think he meant. I mean, I think he definitely meant this game was a piece of shit, and you don't want to play this thing.
Yeah, because they were
And
focusing
plus-
all their efforts on
and plus
Nier.
and plus we keep giving them money and they're not using the money like they're supposed to. So it's
Exactly.
for our greater concern that it's good for the gamers that this shit is canceled.
Yeah,
Like,
remember,
you know,
canceling games is
How
good for
big,
the
how
gamer.
big is Platinum Games? Because I think they spread themselves way too far.
They got
I don't
200
think-
employees.
Again, yeah, you're telling me a 200 employee a company is somehow developing all these different games. Something's got to suffer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they got like
they-
6 games at once too.
Yeah,
Transformers, Ninja Turtles, they're suffering.
yeah, they're putting. Here's the thing: they have their little small teams that they can develop these kind of not such priority games where they can just get these things out, right? Kind of like what Capcom does sometimes or used to do back in the day.
Just think of Scalebound was like a piece of shit Devil May Cry, and it was complete, and Phil Spencer seen it and like, what the fuck is this?
Mhm.
And
Might
It's
be
like-
what happened.
it's he's like, wait a minute, did you just take the Bayonetta engine and just put a guy on it?
But I mean, because at least with Sony, they'll if it does shit or not, they're gonna put it out. They're gonna try to recuperate some of their money back. Like,
Oh, yeah.
and we
definitely.
witnessed
All
that they will
canceling it all together, they ain't making no money at all.
Uncle Phil just killed that shit,
Yeah,
though.
he just killed it.
we
Yeah.
witnessed Sony would take 10 years to put a game out.
Yeah, but they literally just redeveloped the game
It's
over
crazy,
again.
man.
But that again, that's my tinfoil hat theory on this thing. It might be a different story, but I feel like especially with a 200, from what you guys have said, a 200 employee company, something's been moved. There was some interesting Tetrising has been going on to develop such a huge game like Nier, compared to a beat 'em up that's on the level of something like like a Bayonetta.
Cause I ain't gonna lie, Nier's demo was fire. That
Yeah,
track-
man.
that track was hot. So
And to think that's an open world too, because that just felt like
Is
a
it open
linear
world?
section.
Is that official?
It is an open world game.
It switches daggone, what's the name, like point of views a
Perspectives.
lot. Yeah.
Yeah, it switches perspectives. Like
That's
at
what caught me off guard.
it's not, like at some point it's a top-down shooter. Sometimes it's a shoot 'em up where you're literally and then sometimes it's a side scroller. It changes things up. So like how is a place like Platinum Games with 200 employees going to develop something as complicated as that? It's like they developed like 5 different games in one.
yeah, that makes
Interesting,
absolutely no
man.
sense, man.
Well, the bots has been saying that since it got canceled. They've been saying that
But
they was using resources for Nier. They've been saying that, but we just been laughing at it.
But if y'all been paying attention to Twitter, they've been throwing shots for the past few years at each other. Like
What?
Who's been throwing shots?
developer for Platinum Game, or the guy that's making Nier for Phil, like he was talking about, he blocked Phil on Twitter.
Yeah.
Like he'd been throwing little pop shots for the longest, like they wasn't getting along and something went right.
Yeah.
Oh nah, they was last E3 or the E3 before that. They was that dude got pissed off with Microsoft.
Or Camille?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, it was a
he
story
got
about
pissed
it.
off.
I remember that.
I I could believe that, man. Like,
Yeah,
Camille's
Camille's got an infinite chip on his shoulder. You'd say one shit wrong, he'll block your ass.
Man, I still remember what he said about Mighty Number 9. He was talking shit about KG Inafune. He's like that man doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. That game's gonna bomb. It's gonna be shit.
And everybody was coming down on him, giving him some shade, but then
Look what happened. Look what happened.
Right, he knew something.
Yeah, he's like, don't trust that man. Like, damn.
Yeah,
son.
I mean, granted,
no Japanese unity,
Well, granted,
I threw that out the window.
Granted, Inafune is the person who killed Clover Studios.
Yeah,
my man was in charge of the games division at Capcom at the time. So, but then again, at the same time, it's like the games that Clover made were, I mean, they were good games, but they weren't like, like they weren't like crazy sellers like what Capcom usually expects.
Yeah,
they were, mid-tier games.
Even though the games themselves were.
Oh, you son of a bitch! You talking shit about my game.
No, they're great games. Like Beautiful Joe,
Beautiful Joe, Okami.
Even to an extent, what was it? God Hand? Is that the one?
Yeah, people like that game.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway. All right, so let's move on to. Hey, Adam. By the way, we're gonna skip the thing you wanted to talk about.
Nice, thanks.
Yeah, we'll do that on Sunday though, because it's not. It's a good topic, but I want to get to this. I think this is gonna take up a while. Let's give our pre-Switch impressions. What do we think is gonna happen after this thing launches tomorrow? Of course, Chris. I'm going to you, man. I'm going straight to you, bro.
All right, like I've been saying before. This is launched so that when Nintendo walks into their end of year financial meeting and President Moneybags Kimishima walks up there and has to tell these guys that they're in the black, that they got something to show them. Which
check it out now. Oh boy. Now listen.
What the hell? Hey, what the fuck is that?
You ain't got no side, okay? Now it ain't no
Jaleesa, that's from you, by the way. Thank you. What the fuck was that?
Oh, shit, my bad. That shit just popped up on my computer screen. My bad.
Sorry about that, Chris. Go ahead, man.
Oh yeah. So
I'm so sorry.
No problem. So everybody should watch very carefully the first 30 days and then 90 days. And that's what I said before. April 1st is going to be their end of year meeting. I know people don't want to look at financials, so I'll do it for you and I'll talk about Throwdown. And then wait, because then their first quarter of this year comes up in July. So like I said, wait 30 days and wait 90 days. So you're going to have the surge in the beginning because of Zelda. I don't know how much they'll hit in the first 3 months. I don't think they'll get over 3 million probably worldwide. And then it's going to drop off dramatically. So watch 90 days. They're going to have a huge drop off in sales because they really got no offerings. I don't care what anybody says about Mario Kart or whatever. Those are ports. Splatoon, if you got no online set up, then why are you going to launch Splatoon in the summer when you're not going to have your online sorted till fall? And then the biggest game, the game that everybody else really wants is coming out holiday. It doesn't even have a date yet. 2017, the Super Mario Odyssey. So there's no reason for people to buy this unless they are a hardcore Zelda fan or just need to have this thing in their hands. There's no reason. So I've seen a lot of people either canceling their pre-orders to say, hey, I was fiending for this thing, now I'm going to wait. And that's gonna cost Nintendo a lot of sales. And they got no offering in between. They banked everything on Zelda, and then they moved, because they got nothing else coming out this year, they moved Mario all the way to the end of the year. So that's a huge mistake. And on their part, they made it.
Yeah, Chris, quickly jump in. I'm pretty sure you heard this too. That Mario game is essentially already finished.
Yeah, no, I believe that 100%. They only have nothing for the rest of the year. If they launch Mario with Zelda, then you have nothing to look forward to for the rest of the year, right? Because they got nothing else.
I think they were kind of. It's a gift and a curse when it comes to Mario. It could have been a game to come out for the Switch, but they already know what they're doing. That joint is going to do freaking numbers in November. I know it's coming in November. That's going to be their holiday game.
I don't think Nintendo's giving the gamers what they deserve.
Do you think they maybe didn't have the Mario? They didn't put. Okay, let's just say because they have the Zelda game, they don't have the Mario game. Do you think they didn't put the Mario game out because they know they don't have enough systems to sell that game on? Because they're only going to have 2 million on launch month.
Yeah, I think
that's it.
I don't even think it's that. I think they didn't want the games to collide and clash with each other when it came to. I think both would collide with each other. They're too huge. Both of them are huge.
It's not even that. Like Chris said, they don't have no fucking game. So if they did that, they wouldn't have no games. They got to spread the shit out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
exactly. So if Mario, the beloved Zelda would have came out later,
y'all forget they got the beloved 3DS.
No, they're not coming with another.
The 3DS is done. That shit is done.
No, I'm saying
any of the games that's the people who make the 3DS games, them shits is going on the Switch. Anything new, because they haven't made a new 3DS game from first party in almost 2 years, I think.
So can I ask you guys a question?
What's up?
Do you think the Switch games are actually worth $60?
Other than
Well,
Zelda, no.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Other than
Not in
Zelda,
my
no.
opinion. I'll say that much.
And
'Cause
honestly, 1-2 Switch is garbage, and that should have been a packing game.
Oh, no doubt. It's
Yeah.
a tech demo.
Yeah, it should have been a packing game. And honestly, like under different situations, I hate to bring this up, but if Iwata was still alive, I think that would have been a packing game.
Yeah, they said Kimishima's a fucking
He's
money-hungry
all-
bastard. Like,
Look, I worked there for 5 years. The guy is all business. He's all about money and generating revenue. That's the only things that he cares about.
man, he must not have seen the 3DS numbers. That shit is still kicking PS4 and Xbox's ass every month on MPD.
With 3DS, really? I don't know about that.
Nah, the 3DS still sells.
eh,
Well,
it do,
it's-
all right.
No, the 3DS is doing very well, but the thing is that it's like the third one down. It's like underneath.
Yeah, it's declining.
Yeah, it's the third one down. It's like underneath it's underneath Xbox or like above.
Yeah, again, that's
one time
Nintendo's fault. They could have pushed support towards the 3DS to shore up what they were lacking this year with the Switch, but they didn't do that, and they doubled down on strategy where they killed the Wii U and they got it out of the picture, and they're going to do the same thing to the 3DS. So watch, after 90 days, watch what happens. The 3D go out to GameStop or anywhere and look at the 3DS aisles, and you can only find the Galaxy 3DS XL. Why is that? Because they maneuvered things to be that way. It's a limited edition, and they're going to phase out the 3DS by summer, and I can almost guarantee it.
But I understand why they're doing that, though. They're finna bank on that Switch. They're gonna bank that, like the new Pokemon. As soon as that joint comes to the Switch, it's going to sell.
That next Pokemon game better be
It's
like
going to be
better
on-
than Zelda.
It's
Better be
going
better
to
than
be
Zelda.
A lot of those 3DS games,
Because-
titles and shit are going to be on the Switch.
I'm gonna tell you like this: the Switch is not gonna do what it's supposed to do as a console, and it's definitely not doing what it's supposed to do as a handheld. If you can only get 3 hours out of the battery,
That's a problem.
Yeah, that's a problem. That's why I say I don't think Nintendo is giving the consumer what they deserve, because it's to me, now that I look at it, it seems like it's rushed.
I was just about to say that.
Well, we've been saying that shit.
But
Was it rushed or because the first party? I'm telling y'all, if you go and look back, like my homegirl Nia, shouts out to She Attack. She's a huge Nintendo fan, and she pointed this out to me. She was like, "There has not been a first party Nintendo game been in development for a minute. They have all went underground, and they're all making Switch games right now." She was like, all of them, even the 3DS cats, all of them are going to be making 3DS games. No more 3DS games are coming. They're going to kill it.
Well, yeah, they're definitely going to kill it. And don't believe anything Kimishima says, because I'm sure somebody's going to ask him, and I'm sure he's going to give the same bullshit statement he gave about the Wii U, that they're going to exist side by side.
Yeah.
It's complete nonsense.
That's a
Like,
damn
they
lie.
can't. Yeah, they're putting everything behind the Switch, everything. And they're going to have to phase out the 3DS, and they've already started.
Which is why they're making the switch into a handheld. They're trying to straddle the fence, because they know the 3DS crowd is going to be there. As long as the 3DS has games, the cats are going to be there. You know what I'm saying? They're the king of the handheld, so they always got that to lean on. So they're like, if we put it with the console, then they'll have to buy the console.
Well, the problem is, like, and coming off from multiple reports, the thing is neither a good handheld or a good console. It's like it does a lot, but it's not. It doesn't master anything, right? So it's like it's a okay handheld. It's a kind of shitty home console. So what do you have? You know,
98
They're gonna have mobile games.
But mobile games, you play them on your phone.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Mobile ports are all well and good until you realize, like with that one game that Kotaku reported on, they made it for touchscreen. So
yeah, let's talk about that.
Television.
Yeah, let's talk about that, because in case you don't know, not every game on the Switch, as we just found out this week, will be playable in TV mode.
Yeah,
that makes absolutely no fucking sense.
No, well, no, it makes perfect sense. If you have a touchscreen game, A game like if you did a mobile like Vainglory, where you have to totally interact with the screen, these developers are not going to port it to work with Joy-Cons and stuff. They're just going to say, hey, you need to have a proper control. You need to be able to touch the screen. We're not going to make it completely interactive without that. And when you dock the Switch, you can't interact with the screen. You certainly can't touch the TV, so you completely lose controls.
Or what about the game? What
That's the whole thing about the Switch, that you can take it with you and then put it on the dock and play.
Not for every game.
Here's the thing.
Yeah, go ahead, Manny.
Here's the other thing about it, and this is the one thing I asked with ARMS. Can you play ARMS in tablet mode? ARMS is a motion control game.
Well, you could use your controller too for that. You use the Pro controller for that. They confirmed that.
No.
Yeah, they did. They said you could play.
Yeah, they say use controller.
You can use a Pro controller? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
They
That's
confirmed
kind of
that.
weird, dude. I feel like if they gonna do if they need to tell people what's gonna do what.
They hadn't been clear with that message. It's looking like the Xbox One.
Yeah, Nintendo's messaging has been. I don't get it.
It's their old messaging. So it was
I love
literally
it.
messaging.
Well, I love it that fanboys are giving them credit somehow that this time they were marketing the thing right, and I'm like, they haven't said anything. So I guess
They really haven't explained shit. Like nothing. Like they left us a press release and that was it. I'm like, no, show like you
Here's the thing, real quick. You know,
had none of these features before, and you haven't showed people how it works.
these fanboys are ridiculous because they're always saying, "Oh, Nintendo's the best company. They always do everything right." Yet when the new system comes out, oh, they learned now. They learned. What do you mean they learned? I thought they got it right last time. Fuck you.
You know what's really bad?
Still got friend codes, man.
Yeah, they still got friend codes, man.
You know,
come on,
really
son. Nintendo hasn't learned shit.
Yeah.
What's really bad is Zelda came out with damn near perfect scores, so you can't explain shit to these motherfuckers no more.
Yeah. Oh, look at
they
the
feeling
Metacritic.
themselves.
Look at the Metacritic. Don't hate.
But
Look
if
at
the console is still
the Metacritic.
like, I don't. If people like most people like like if people don't like the console, 9 times out of 10 they may not go buy the game.
Well, yeah, I mean,
that bullet and be like, you know what? I don't want to buy that console for that one game.
Right,
They're
exactly.
gonna refuse to do that.
It's a huge investment, especially if you haven't bought into anyone's ecosystem, right? Where right now Xbox and Sony are running crazy deals for their systems, right? And they bundle games with their systems now. And so people look for value. And this is what fanboys and Nintendo don't understand, collectively missing the point. That value is the most important thing, and that people don't play systems, they play games. If you only have one game worth a damn, and your console is comparatively very weak to what's on the market and that's cheaper, then people are going to gravitate towards those.
Yeah, you're right. But some of these people that I know that are Nintendo fans, with the Wii U, long as they had the virtual console, they were fine. I'm like they didn't care about third party. They didn't care about this. They just wanted those first party games. I'm like, and you wonder why your system is suffering the way it's suffering.
Yeah.
And then not to mention the virtual console.
The virtual console, what, Manny?
Not to mention the virtual console is not going to be ready on the Mr. Switch either.
No, it's not.
Oh.
Ironically enough, I've been playing a virtual console to go to pull this to full circle. I've been playing for almost 2 decades of virtual console on my PC, emulating games.
Yeah.
I don't. Sometimes I don't get Nintendo. I don't know if it's because it can't be because they're Japanese, because freaking Sony is Japanese. It's not that.
Sony more Americanized though.
They're stuck
Yeah.
stuck in their
Sony's a global entity, you know.
A certain former head of 3DO actually explained it all in a recent.
Trip Hawkins, right?
Mr. Trip Hawkins. He explained it. Essentially, they're still, and even Chris has explained it. They're at their heart, they're a toy company.
Yep, and they still act like a toy company.
And they still act like a toy company.
Facts.
What do toy companies do? Artificial scarcity.
Yep.
All those things.
But the thing I don't get about Nintendo is that they got so many IPs, so many characters, but they don't use them. I feel like if they used more of their characters and I don't want them to be like Sony, and I don't want them to be like Microsoft. Everybody should be different, but there's just some things that you need to have.
Well,
90% of Nintendo fans are fucking.
I think there's things that I'm just saying. There's some things that are standard. I think that every console needs. Third party, like because these long ass droughts that they were having these past few years was unacceptable.
Yeah. Well, here's the problem. Like, I'll put out a scenario for you. Let's say at the Switch conference, instead of ARMS, they had Punch Out, and instead of 1-2 Switch, they had a WarioWare game. Don't you think that would have gone over way better, right? Using those IPs instead of making up nonsense titles.
Yeah. Or either had a Fire Emblem or a No More Heroes actually playable, or screenshots of it or something. Like, not just talking about it with this weird dude standing behind No More Heroes logo in the back.
Right. It's a Mario.
Talk about a brand new game, and it hasn't even been in development yet.
And
I think go ahead.
I was going to say that the major problem is that Nintendo is still trying to distance. They're still practicing Blue Ocean, and the problem with Blue Ocean is that they think they're creating a new market, and in their thinking, in this line of illogic that they're following, they think they have to distance themselves from their lower IPs and create new things to gain people's interest, when people love their old IPs and they ignore them. But
never bring them back.
Yes, when you develop in that bubble, when you're in that bubble and you're just running like anti-consumerist tactics like artificial scarcity and sticking your lawyers on people making fan games and all that kind of stuff, and then you're sitting in this bubble, you don't take in any fan input, you don't look at the world around you, and you just develop in that kind of small world, well, you're going to make these kinds of mistakes.
Yeah. I tell people all the time, I just want a Pokemon Stadium, man. That's all I want. I told Nia this last time when the Wii U came out. I told her if they ever get a Pokemon Stadium, I'll have that joint day one.
I think they should have
want to put Pokemon on it. I don't know why. They should have did it.
I think they should have held the last Pokemon game back and
put it on the Switch.
Yeah, they should have.
I think it was probably already in development, though. You can't just do it like that, you know.
I understand what he's saying, but I understand what he's saying, though.
Mario's finished, right?
I just think I just don't get why they do the things that they do sometimes, and even Nintendo fans don't even get what they do.
But they defend it. They defend the shit out of it
because they love Nintendo, man. No matter what Nintendo does, like some people thought Zelda was never coming out, but they were okay with that. And I'm like,
we don't need a Zelda.
If it was Sony or Microsoft, they would be in their asses and around the corner talking shit. If this was like when it was like the Wii U days, when they was like selling all these consoles and shit, and games was not coming out, and we wasn't getting this and getting that, they would be talking shit. It's the truth.
It's bullshit, but again, because I always want you to stress this, Chris, because people don't seem to understand. Where do you see Nintendo exactly 1 year from now, March 2018?
Yeah, and I'm sticking with my editorial. I'm sticking with my prediction. 1 year from now, 1 year into another fiscal year for them, they're headed for disaster, and they're going to only have two options. And option one is to do like exactly what the former CEO of 3DO said today, and what I've said before, is bow out of the hardware market. Is stop supporting this hardware and become a third-party developer and put your IPs on multiple platforms. I mean, this has been said by analysts for years.
Yep.
But they backed themselves into a corner because this isn't the 90s anymore. And what the hardcore fans and everyone doesn't understand is consoles are multi-feature devices. They're basically PCs, and they can offer a range of consuming entertainment and media. And it's not, so you can play games, and yes, games are excellent, and that's why we play consoles, and that's why we have the consoles of our choice, because it allows us to play with our friends, and it has the games that we want to play. But and also as an extra stuff, it's like, wow, I could stop playing and watch Netflix. I could watch YouTube and see a playthrough because I can't beat this level. They offer you all those options. Nintendo has taken away all those options and is acting like it's the 90s, and they don't need those things.
Yeah, they haven't even said anything about YouTube.
Because they won't add it. They when they say they're going to add video at a later date, guaranteed it's never. That later date is not coming.
About the Apple YouTube, I mean, like streaming wise, like you know how many people that I know want to stream Mario Kart?
Right, sure.
They're not going to allow that.
Because they don't want.
No, hell no.
Yes, if they,
like I don't know what they're doing, man.
because that would have been a major selling point, but because they're so, and this is another thing that toy companies do is they're very, very controlling and strict about their IPs, which is why the Nintendo Creators Program exists on YouTube. They can't control it if they put streaming or capture abilities on the Switch. They won't be able to control the videos and their IPs, and that comes first. That comes before you. That comes before me. That comes before anyone who buys Switch. And that's what I want the fans to understand. They don't care about you. Their first order of business is protecting their IPs and generating revenue.
I mean, they even said it themselves during the conference. They're like, yes, and we will allow you to take pictures. What about video? They're not going to allow you to take no video.
They're not. It's just pictures, you know. It's crazy. So
you gotta realize how big streaming is right now, man.
Nintendo doesn't care.
They don't care. No,
they don't give a fuck. You know, they do not care. Okay, so Chris, that's the first scenario, right? Nintendo is going to eventually have to become a third-party developer. The second scenario is a little bit more grim.
Right. So so by that time in 1 year, they could take a series of missteps because they have to continue to support the Switch through the year and hope to hell that they get to holiday and that Mario is some kind of insanely rousing success. And that's a huge gamble, a gamble I think they're going to lose. And what that's going to lead to is they might go so far in the red in terms of lack of sales and lack of pushing software that they will have no other option but to do exactly what THQ did and auction off their IPs to the highest bidder. And what
do you think they would auction it? I swear they hate Sony so much. They would give it to someone. They would sell it to Microsoft.
They won't have a choice because here's why. They will owe so much money to their creditors and investors, shareholders, and they have to, if they go bankrupt, they have to pay out everyone's salary. They have to handle all their real estate affairs. There's a lot of cost and hidden costs that go into business. And so, and then there's not to mention their stock value, which is going to plummet if this thing tanks. And so you have to account for all those costs and all those losses. And if investors pull out and stuff and creditors give you a poor rating and your loans interest rates go up, they have to pay all that off. And if they don't have money, then guess what? They'll have no option but to sell those IPs.
Whew, man, that would be insane. That would be insane. But yeah, I don't know. I really, me personally, I've been saying this shit for years myself. They're going to have to go third party. They're going to have no choice. Like, this thing is going to bomb. Like, everything you've seen about the Switch, like, and yes, I am getting the Switch myself. I don't think that shit's going to last long, man. I think this is another Dreamcast situation. I really see that,
And not to mention the incredible performance issues of Mr. Zelda, a game
Zelda better in handheld mode.
I heard stuttering like hell. I heard.
Wait a minute, but this is a perfect game. This is a masterpiece.
Yeah. According to Metacritic, right? They can't be wrong.
No, according to
here's the thing. I always, in general, I think what always trumps issues like control issues or slowdown or anything like that is fun factor. So obviously the game is fun, so that trumps everything. That goes for Grand Theft Auto. That goes for everybody's favorite, Bethesda game.
Yeah, exactly.
Either one of those.
Question.
Either one of those.
Question. What before Zelda scores came out? What did y'all think? Like, what were y'all like prelim scores, or what did y'all think?
We knew it was going to be high, 90 to 10. Every Zelda game.
People are surprised.
Yeah.
I'm like,
why are they surprised? We knew that shit.
Yeah, people
Zelda,
are surprised. Like,
Zelda is a critical sweetheart. But the thing is that Zelda games don't sell incredibly well. Mm-hmm. They sell well, but they don't sell.
Motherfuckers get mad at us when we point that out, by the way. They get very mad at us.
I had to literally, one of my friends was talking to me about it. And I'm like, yo, why are you freaking surprised that Zelda scored as high as it did? And I pulled up Metacritic and went to Zelda and just typed and went from scores. And like all of them are in the 90s.
Yep.
Except for that one for 3DS. It's like that's the worst one they've ever put out with a Zelda on it. Everything else is 90 and above. I think one is like 88. I think that might be the lowest one that's on a console.
I think the Zelda games are just basically, they love them because of nostalgia's sake. because they all are basically almost the same entire game, besides the NES and the SNES game. From the 64 on up, they're almost the same game until you get the Wind Waker, which changed the whole look, and then it's almost the same.
What about
game.
Majora's Mask?
What about what?
Majora's Mask was different.
Yeah, Majora's Mask was different.
That was different. That's the only one that you can say that was really completely different. But all of
Nintendo in general, and again, I got to preface it with this: I'm not talking about media bias, none of that shit. But Nintendo does have a clear advantage with some of these reviewers. They just love Nintendo, you know.
Yo, I ain't gonna front though. The critics, that's why I knew. My thing, I gave it I said I'm a lowball it. I'm gonna say it's gonna score at least a 96. That was my score.
You lowballed it to 96.
Yo,
that's a low ball.
I said I knew it was going to go high. I knew.
And it was, but Manny, here's the funny thing: it was higher than that. It wasn't 96. It was 98.
Yeah, I lowballed it. Matter of fact, me and Erica said something. It was me, Erica, and Kofi. Kofi asked.
Kofi
in a Twitter. Yeah, he asked in a Twitter. He was like, prelim a score for Zelda, and I put 96 on there, and it was 98. I was close.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's crazy.
If this is the Price is Right, you'd be on the stage already with Bob Barker.
I don't get why people are mad. I'm like, you should, if you're a gamer and you've been around for a while, you should have known Zelda was going to score high.
Yeah.
This is the first Zelda that doesn't fit. Like, it looks completely different. It's a different game.
But it's nothing but well, the Link is only just it's like a little bit more mature than Wind Waker. It's got the same type of graphics, just more enhanced because the system is a little bit more powerful. But the one thing I do like that I seen what they was talking about is you could climb everything, like mountains and all of that. You could just climb it. So
okay, I need to bring this up because the hypocrisy is so crazy right now. Okay, so and I got to call these dudes out, right? US Gamer, right? You know where I'm going with this, Chris. Okay, so they docked points from Horizon Zero Dawn because it was ripping off The Witcher 3. With Zelda, they gave it extra points because it said it's taking elements from The Witcher 3.
Yeah, I was yelling about this on Twitter this morning, and
isn't it?
And of course, of course, Tim jumped in and I told him because his argument was, oh, it was two different reviewers. I'm like, yeah, and they have the same editor that would see like the hypocrisy in that statement. It's a double standard. You're saying Horizon is derivative and boring because you have The Witcher and Skyrim. Then you say Zelda's innovative because they learned from The Witcher and Skyrim.
which they probably didn't learn from The Witcher and Skyrim. We're just saying.
I don't even. Yeah. I just don't get why people are like, oh my god, it got a 98. Like all of these like critics love Zelda. They just do. I don't know what it is about that game, but a lot of the mainstream critics
same story over and over and over.
Yeah, exactly. So the irony was, if you look at the two reviews on US Gamer, I think you'll see the problem because the Horizon was described as derivative, bland. It's been done before, and I'm like, this is a brand new IP. I don't remember ever being able to hunt robotic dinosaurs in a post-apocalyptic future. I would really like somebody to tell me the game where you could do that. And so it's doing all this new stuff, and it gets slammed that it was derivative. And then at the same time, this is what, the ninth main Zelda entry? And so guess what, guys? You got to kill Ganon and rescue Princess Zelda again. We've been doing this for 30 years, but somehow this is innovative and fresh.
You can take the card, do your thing, because now
Jaleesa, it's happening again.
No, that wasn't me.
Yeah, it was.
It was. I'm not even on anything.
Yep. I saw your little thing go off there.
Whatever that thing has, it has some sort of like timing because whenever there's a space and time or something, it just seems to interrupt.
Oh, I know what it was. My bad.
No, man, turn off them pop-ups.
It was a pop-up.
Oh my god! Can you get ad block?
I do. It just popped.
Yeah, Johnny, man, what do you think about this Switch, man? What do you think is going to happen with it?
Hey, I don't even want to even say anything. Listen, Chris laid it out perfectly. It's going to sell well at first. And you know what I'm looking forward to is in 2 years on YouTube when people are saying, where did the Switch go wrong? Because you know what's going to end up happening, man. They're repeating the same shit what they did with the Wii U. Just let this tablet shit go, man. Make a traditional I know people, we don't want a traditional. Make a goddamn traditional console and gain some footing back in the console market, and then you can try all this Willy Wonka, wondrous bullshit y'all want to pull off, but it's gonna fail.
But when was the last time Nintendo was ever really traditional with the console?
I mean, the GameCube.
The GameCube was probably their last console.
Yeah,
but it's like I guess that's their idea of like separating themselves from the industry because the rest of the industry. Because at the same time, if they were to come out with I'm sure this is the way they're thinking, that if they were to come out with something very similar to maybe the PlayStation or the Xbox, that would also be seen on the same level. So that each iteration, each console from the Wii on has to be some sort of gimmick of what they've done, that's different than the original things, rather than sticking with some sort of seminal tradition.
It's time for Nintendo to grow up. I still want that Zelda game that they showed a screenshot of way back in the day when Link was grown, looked about damn near real. Where's that?
You're not getting that.
that was to get you excited. See,
so you feel like Nintendo hasn't grown up with you?
Nope, they haven't.
The thing is that they're a toy company. They're still acting like a toy company.
And I don't mind that though, but shit, like you gotta add some variety in there for the folks who don't want toys anymore.
even when we go back to somebody like Sega, they actually grew up. But I think that Sony was the one that helped them grow up, or even we want to say go back to something like a 3DO. That helped. That showed, at least, the 3DO was incredibly expensive, but it did show what the future of console gaming was going to be. What did the PlayStation have after that point? What did all these other things? 3DO could do that stuff. 3DO.
3DO.
In fact, what was it? I was just telling you guys, Trip Hawkins, the guy who created created 3DO, and he was the CEO of EA. He came out and said that he sees this Switch as failing, and that they need to get out and just get into software.
Well, yeah, I mean, look, he's probably seen the parallels. Look, 3DO at the time was a super expensive system. What was it, $700?
Yeah, $700.
Yeah, when it first came out, it was $700.
So let me ask you guys if this sounds familiar. You have an overpriced system that has no third-party support with a ton of expensive accessories and a high price tag, and then games on top of that. And what happened to it?
Yep.
So this is a man speaking from experience. He has gone through exactly this. And so he sees the forest through the trees. He sees, like, if they keep going down this road, they're going to end up like 3DO.
I find it funny how people were trying to downplay it just because, like, oh, he created a 3DO. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. No, it's because he worked on a 3DO. They knows exactly what he's talking about.
Exactly.
Come on,
man. If you had a business that went under, you would know what to avoid.
and let me also add, he also was also the leader of one of the top video game makers at that in this time.
Yeah, EA
was EA. So the thing is that he and I'm going to say this also about 3DO. You wouldn't hear about Crystal Dynamics and quite a bit of other developers because they all started at 3DO. Even to an extent, EA even started to do more games that were beyond sport games, on there.
Even to an extent, even Naughty Dog, right, man? He didn't have Way of the Warrior?
Yes, they had Naughty Dog was on there too. So, I mean, granted, 3DO was a failure, but it was because of that price point and all that other stuff. But I think if it was able to offer all of that same stuff at a decent price for the home, I think it would have done a lot better.
Yeah, so Trip Hawkins knows what he's talking about because these Nintendo fanboys are trying to dismiss it. Oh, what the fuck does he know? That's a dinosaur. Who cares about Trip Hawkins? Listen to what he's saying. The thing is, they don't like what he's saying, so they dismiss it outright. I'm telling you, this thing is gonna bomb. It's gonna happen. And I'm not just saying that because I want you. We want Nintendo to be successful.
Nobody wants it to fail. They want it to fail.
But
I know, right?
Nintendo's not doing anything to, make us believe it's gonna be a success. That's what I'm saying. They don't fucking learn.
So answer this for me: the 2 million that they're expecting to sell, which should be sold out by now, that's worldwide, right?
That's worldwide.
Yes.
And for comparison, the PlayStation 4 on day one in America alone sold 1 million.
In
Nintendo's
24 hours.
Yeah, 24 hours. You think Nintendo's going to meet that number?
Yeah.
No.
Come on.
No, they're not. And yeah, like you said, that was just North America, right?
Yep.
24
just North
hours.
America.
And again, and Sony didn't do pre-orders. Nobody does pre-orders for systems, and there's a good reason for it. But Nintendo decided to throw caution and everyone else to the wind, right? So if there's hardware problems, like look at the Joy-Con desyncing issue, and every fanboy was saying, "Oh, don't worry, they'll patch it." How do you know they'll patch it?
Yeah, you don't know that, motherfucker.
Wait a minute, no, I heard something about that.
What's up? What happened?
I heard the patch actually does not fix that.
Yeah. Well,
hearing.
here's the thing: it probably can't fix it because if you have an attenuation issue, there's nothing they can put into firmware that is going to fix that problem. That is a design defect, and that means the hardware is defective.
Wow, that's going to be crazy.
And look, this is the third Wii remote, and you're telling me you can't get it right?
In my opinion, I just feel like, I mean, I don't know. To me, to be honest with you, like when I heard they was only selling a certain amount in certain store, I'm like, they was like, yo, certain stores is only gonna have certain amount. I thought they were bullshitting. So I got a homeboy that works at GameStop. He was like, I'm like, it's serious out here. We ain't getting but like 10 of them joints. I'm like, 10.
See? And Mr. Reggie goes on TV saying, interviews saying there will not be any scarcity.
Well, we've been telling you motherfuckers this shit. Just like with the Nintendo Classic, we told you every store is gonna get a handful at most. Nobody fucking believed us. Look at that shit.
Yeah, I mean, look at the little Nintendo Classic. Look how they did that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They only had like 2 in Targets and shit. Come on, man.
Yes. When I went to go pick up Horizon, my collector's edition Horizon Tuesday, the guy told me we'll probably have 4 available to sell to just people who walk in, but you have to come here at midnight to get that midnight release.
Wow.
I took that money and I bought me a 4K TV. I couldn't.
Yeah, 4K TVs now, man, they're like $200. They're cheap.
What you just said.
Yeah, go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, what you just said. See that frustration? See where you took your money, invested somewhere else? Imagine that just a millionfold. People are sick of artificial scarcity and that shit. And there are other options. This is why I say the blue ocean strategy doesn't work, because Nintendo's not using it right. They don't exist in a blue ocean. You are an electronics company, even though you act like a toy company, and you're a video game manufacturer and a video game creator. You are competing with other video game creators and other video game system producers, which is Sony and Microsoft. And if you weren't, you wouldn't go to the Game Awards and buy yourself some to feel better. So don't tell everybody that you're not competing and you're in some kind of hybrid bullshit market, because you're not.
And this is another point what made me not, just decide not to get it. We are right now on the brink of trying to get 4K gaming going. Nintendo still isn't even trying to give you 1080p.
Yeah, I need to chime in real quick. For you people who don't know, all their menus on the Switch, right? They're 720p. They're 720p up converted.
That's terrible. That's terrible.
Man.
Wait a minute. I need to see some of the. I didn't look at none of the reviews for the Switch, so I need to go look at. I heard some bad.
I'm gonna tell you right now. Go to IGN. They have the most balanced review out there, because all these other guys are gushing. IGN called it right. So we'll check that out.
Because they still gave it the system, right? The system.
No, the system, they gave it a 6 point something,
The games are totally different. I'm talking about the playing console itself.
Right.
It's nuts, man.
I heard they've been getting like 5 out of 10s, and it's not been too good.
Yeah, exactly. And that word of mouth spread. So people who are on the fence are going to hop off immediately. And spend their money somewhere else. They're going to invest it somewhere else. If they really want mobile gaming, they might invest in a tablet instead, or they might go, "Hey, this Xbox One S bundle looks pretty good," or this PS4 Slim comes with Uncharted. It's $200 or $250. That's a good deal. You get a pack-in game with that for 2/3 the cost of the Switch system itself. You're paying $300 for a system, comes with no pack-in games. $60 for Zelda, right? Because that's what most people want to buy. But I want to play like a big boy. I need a Pro Controller. Well, now that's another $70. And geez, this thing doesn't have any storage. Let me buy an SD card. If you go buy a 512 gig SD card, like the biggest one, it's costs what? $200 by itself, or $300?
That with that thing is fucking high. I'm like, I knew when they said the cost of that thing, I was like,
Yeah.
oh, they finna something's wrong with that. And when I
Right,
saw
exactly.
all of the stuff they trying to sell with it,
Right. And
the
Tony,
price,
what was my predicted price when I said how much this thing's going to cost?
You predicted it was going to be between $350 and $400, right?
No, I said between $400 and $500
Yeah.
was going to be the total cost of the system.
Yeah, and then you saw what happened. Okay, the system is $300, but you got to buy the Pro controller, you got to buy a game, you got to buy an SD card, you got to buy chargers. That just adds up, you know.
them Joy-Cons is out of control though. Them
You didn't even mention the damn game.
Yeah, you need a game and you need a memory card because the thing only comes with 32 gigs, 25 usable, by the way. You know,
How big is Zelda?
12.
Zelda's 12 gigs.
12 gigs, son.
But you don't have to install Zelda. If you buy the cartridge, this is what I got explained to earlier. If you buy the cartridge, you don't have to install it. You pop the cartridge.
What about updates?
Yeah, and DLCs and all that.
All that shit has got to be on the
That's what I
console.
tried to ask. That's what I tried to ask, but then people were like, no, you just put it in and play. But what if the game needs to update?
Yeah, updates, DLC.
Remember the game. Remember the game under Other M. Remember that?
Yeah.
With how big of a patch that game needed? Was it about as big as the actual game was?
Well, no, it wasn't Other M that got patched. It was Assassin's Creed 4.
Assassin's Creed
on the
4,
Wii U, yeah, where there was 2 SKUs of the Wii U initially, and there was the 8 gig SKU. The patch for Assassin's Creed 4 filled that system.
Yo, that's crazy.
And we're in a time now. There's no game that comes out. I don't care if Nintendo makes it or Jesus makes it. There's no game that doesn't need a fucking day one patch anymore. It just doesn't happen. Like we're not. Again, I keep saying we're not in the '90s anymore. We don't fab the cartridges and everything's got to be spot on perfect. We're now in sort of PC cycle development where the attitude is fix it later, get it out now, fix it later. And Nintendo's adopted that same philosophy. So they're going to need patches, and then third-party developers are also adopted that same philosophy. So you're going to need patches. You're going to need to store them somewhere. And some of them are huge. Look at the patches on PlayStation. Sometimes some of them you download the entire game over again.
Yeah.
Yes. So let me ask y'all a question. Do you think there will be any game that comes out this year that's kind of like big time that's going to be on it, AAA wise?
Absolutely not.
Any? Like none?
No,
because they would have announced it by now.
Yeah,
they have opportunity.
Absolutely, he's 100% right. They would have announced it already at the conference. And here's the thing: third-party developers like EA and Activision, Ubisoft already showed how little support they're giving the system. They're getting an old FIFA. They got Rayman Legends, a 5-year-old game, or maybe 6-year-olds at this point, right? They're just sticking their toe in the water, right? So even if the Switch is a success and EA or somebody decides, oh, okay, let's give them a game. Guess what? That's 2 or 3 years away. If they start now.
And plus, it's going to be gimped.
Yeah, exactly. They're going to have to figure out. So, look, Dragon Quest that's going to come out for the Switch cannot fit on the drive.
I think it's Dragon Quest 1 and 2, and then they get the older ones. I think 11 and 12.
Right, but you need an SD card for it because it's 32 gigs. The game is 32 gigs. You cannot just download it.
1 and 2 is 32 gigs. The whole thing is messed up because it's like, okay, if you got people who want to go digital, those are the ones who are going to spend the most money. And
And you think all those mobile games that are coming, you think you're going to be getting a physical release? No, they're not.
No,
that's all digital.
No, it's going to be digital.
Fill up your memory, man.
They ain't going to have no memory. And we thinking 500 gigabytes ain't no memory. And you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I still got the regular PlayStation. I got to delete shit all the time. So I can imagine what they're gonna be deleting. They ain't gonna really be able to put shit on there.
And then maybe again the operation system probably needs an update too.
Yeah, and we don't know how they
down
handle
the line.
We don't know how they handle firmware updates. Like on the original Wii, I don't know if people know this, but every flash of the Wii, each firmware sits on top of the old one, right? And they did that because they didn't know how to do compatibility going forward revisioning compatibility. So every game had to come with the firmware that it was developed on to run simultaneously with the firmware that's on the Wii. That's how weird they code things, right?
Holy shit.
So we don't know. I don't know how they're handling this one. Like I'm hoping NVIDIA had a lot more input than just putting a Tegra in there, and maybe they got them to do something right, but I don't know how it's going to work.
I don't know, man. Nintendo. I mean, yeah, keep your eyes on them. 30 days, 90 days, the rest of the year. You
I
know.
don't think they can depend on just first party anymore, man. I've been saying that even though that Mario and Zelda is going to do good, Zelda is going to sell the Switch.
But look, just to give
But
everybody a silver lining across their dark cloud, when
it's gonna.
Pokemon drops, it's game over.
Yeah, I mean Zelda's gonna be dope, but a lot of people like when Mass Effect drops, when Red Dead drops, and all these other huge titles, and they're not on the Switch. Cats are gonna be pissed about that.
Right, and
Pokemon Go by then.
that's what fanboys don't understand. It's like there are other things coming out. People have to make decisions on where to spend their money. People don't have infinite money to throw at Nintendo and then simultaneously at Sony and Microsoft and EA and all these guys. They make choices. Like I'm very much looking forward to Mass Effect. I love Mass Effect, right? So I have to make a decision. Like, am I going to get Mass Effect? Like, I didn't get Neo because I wanted Horizon. Like, I have to make decisions with money. So the most people, on Earth. So, and this is something they don't understand. Like, Nintendo doesn't exist in a bubble, and fanboys just exist in their bubble. If you don't care about Red Dead, that's fine. There's plenty of people who do, and they will choose that over the Switch if it's appealing enough for them.
Yeah, exactly. You ain't getting that shit on your console. I'll tell you that right now. You know.
Yeah, no way. Rockstar is not bringing that, and I mentioned the reasons why.
Yeah. But even if they wanted to, it wouldn't be able to run in the shit.
No.
You know what I saw on Twitter today? These guys are crazy. I swear. Like, oh man, I can't wait to get Final Fantasy 15 and Final Fantasy 7 remake on my Switch.
Are you fucking?
They was fucking.
What? You can't run those fucking games on that.
They barely. They was running kind of bad on the regular consoles, like the clipping.
They weren't trolling.
Yeah.
And like some of them draw distances, I don't know about that.
Wait a minute. The PC ain't even got confirmation for Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah, but the Switch does.
Yeah,
you know?
well, these guys just say things.
It does have confirmation for Final Fantasy 15. It's coming out next year.
You can know that, Brian, for a fact?
Yeah, there's a PC Gamer article.
You gotta link that. You gotta link that. That's the first time I'm hearing about this.
Off I go.
Article talking about them testing it.
No, they said that they are planning to release it next year.
Well, that's
please link me because that's neat. Because hey, I would have bought that shit on PC if I could have. You know.
Yeah, because the way it ran. So you think it ran okay on PS4, but we know it gonna run a lot better on PC. But you think this gonna run like run?
No, hell no. 10 frames a second, maybe 700p. You know.
Hey, listen. If this game can't run a game like Breath of the Wild, what's it gonna do to a game like Final Fantasy? Seriously,
Yeah,
Right.
It's gonna burn up.
Yeah, and this is
Burn the fuck up.
Yeah, this is the problem that third-party developers had last generation with the Wii U.
And the generation before that too.
Yeah, the system is just severely underpowered, and they're not going to spend the soft dollars to try to pare down their games. They have coded it for Xbox and PC or PlayStation that can handle it, right? So then you have to go backwards and say, what can we pull out and like lower res textures? Like they're not going to do that because it's going to take forever.
Chris,
so
what PlayStation 3 or Xbox game can we put on this little Wii U thing?
Yeah,
Chris,
because
they might be able to port the Final Fantasy 15 on the Switch.
No.
But then Nintendo would have to change the battery life from 6 hours to 20 seconds.
Oh, shit.
It's not even getting South Park. Like, come on.
What?
Man.
It's not getting South Park?
If it was getting South Park, they would have announced it. They announced Just Dance, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
Oh damn.
That's a good point.
Yes.
South Park doesn't even look like it's that more like intensive of
It's like a fucking cartoon. Like how you can't run that?
South Park is the shit too.
But look how long it took them to put out the flip South Park, and now they done pushed the second one.
I know what game is going to be on the Switch. They're going to bring out Darksiders 1.
Yeah.
For the 50th time.
The original one, not the HD remastered version of it.
Yeah, the original one, 720p.
720p. It's going to run at like 30 frames a second.
Yeah.
It'll be better than Phantom Dust.
It's pretty funny because we're talking about the Switch right now. I'm looking at my timeline on Twitter. Everybody's going crazy, showing it off.
What they gonna be doing in a month though?
Yeah, exactly, man. When you
They're
finish
gonna still be
Zelda,
showing
what
it.
you playing? You're gonna be playing
Just
fucking arms and
it's the same
shit.
thing. It's the same thing when everybody got their VR headsets. It's the same.
No, I'm gonna tell
Pretty
you.
much, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
No, I mean I don't know now because after a month, Resident Evil 7 came out. So
Now that was like 3 months though.
Yeah.
But it was.
They're gonna put Resident Evil 7, and it's gonna have like a special mode. It's gonna be called Classic Mode, and it's gonna all be top down like the classic Resident Evil games.
Imagine that shit.
But I think after Zelda, what's next?
Mario Kart.
Mario Kart, yeah.
So it's Mario Kart, then Splatoon.
Yes.
Splatoon might do well because
By the way, Jaleesa, you just named 2 games that are already available right now.
Well, that's Splatoon sequel. See, that's
that looked like a DLC pack. Yeah.
Yeah. Come on, it looks like fucking the first game. You know.
And then after
a DLC pack.
Mario.
Yeah. Mario's fucking.
Oh, don't you want to play? Don't you want to play Bomberman?
No.
Nah, I'm good. But I want to play that Mario though. I'm on that. I want to play that Mario.
You have to wait 6 months.
I'll wait if it. I don't want to wait, but shit.
You got to.
That joint looks like Mario 64 on crack, man. I gotta play that.
But check this out, and then it's gonna be another 3-4 years before you get another Zelda or Mario. You might not even get another Zelda.
Yeah, don't bank on it.
Because I know they got Fire Emblem supposed to be coming.
You'll get some remakes of Zeldas, like a Twilight Princess.
They just dust that old one off.
No, I mean
they released Skyward Sword without retarded controls.
I thought it said something about Shin Megami Tensei versus something.
Yeah, but that game was not announced for the US.
Yeah, see. But they don't got that localization thing no more though, so you can get it if you want it.
Right, and translate it yourself.
But who finna import that though? That's extra money. Like
I know people that do it.
I mean, some people gonna do it, but come on now.
You got a Japanese account, a UK account, a Hong Kong account. Like
my man going.
Yeah, I mean, there's guys like that, but that's their journey. They can have that. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, fuck all that, man.
For a Shin Megami Tensei game, which is like an RPG, so you're
heavily text based.
Yeah,
come on.
My homeboy Court, he bought.
I think that's gonna be Dynasty Warriors, by the way. Though
my boy got Nier right now. He's already almost done with it.
Oh, but Nier is already subtitled.
Yeah, but those games, they got English. They got English on the shit.
I'm just saying, like he already bought Nier and everything, and I'm almost from the Japanese store.
He does buy everything that's in Japan. Like he gets the Japanese PlayStation Network cards, boots them up, and he go crazy.
Yeah, so I'll just finish with this. I know. Grimm's and probably some other people are probably listening and fuming.
Grimm's not gonna like this, man.
Listen, like you have to separate Nintendo, the game developer, from Nintendo, the hardware manufacturer, right? Like Zelda is a fantastic game. I played at E3, I liked it. We've podcasted about it. All of us enjoyed it, and I've had nothing but good things to say about it, right? You separate that from the console maker, who has lost several steps over the years and it hasn't kept up, hasn't looked around, hasn't innovated in 3 generations, and they have doomed themselves to failure. And that's just the reality of it. So you can be proud, you can hold up your sword, enjoy Zelda, right? Enjoy that. If you wanted to play that, like you absolutely can. You don't need to listen to me, but what you need to do is brace yourself for impact, because they don't have much longer in them, because the missteps they've taken are catching up to them in a big way. And you could deny it. I mentioned all the business stuff, so you could deny money is an issue. You could say investors are stupid and they don't know anything. But at the end of the day, that's who Nintendo's catering to. That's really where their bread and butter comes from. And if those guys aren't happy, they're going to sink.
Yep, there you go. They couldn't have put it a better way. And that'll do it for us for the show. So I want to thank our special guests here. So I'm going to give you guys each a turn to plug your shit. So Eddie, man, where can people find you?
You can find me on Facebook in the Facebook group Hard Knock Gamers, where we talk about any and every kind of platform of gaming. You can find me on Twitter, Eddie Just Eddie. I got a YouTube channel, but I'm not too active on it, so you can find me under the same name on YouTube. But I appreciate you guys for having me on.
All right,
and thanks.
Yeah, and I know you've been wanting to be on for a while, but like your work schedule never worked out. Like you go to sleep really early,
Yeah, I've been yawning for the past hour. But I mean, you wanted to talk about Horizon? I got it. I wanted to get on, so hey, I sacrificed that, man.
My man, I appreciate the support. All right, Jaleesa, thank you for being on once again. You know, always fun having you on. Please let the folks know where they can find you.
All right, people. Yeah, thanks, Tony, for letting me on, man. I really appreciate it. Y'all can find me on Twitter at CrunkGirl711. Same thing with Twitch and YouTube as well. Also check out sheattack.com. And on Facebook, I don't have like a main little page, but I'm always in PlayStation Nation All Stars. And some of the other little groups on Facebook. But mostly I'm in PlayStation Nation All Stars. Y'all can find me in there. And yeah, man, thanks for having me again. The Horizon discussion was great. Shouts out to all the people in here. Had a fun discussion, talking about a plethora of different things going on right now. Shit is about to get real. It's the beginning of the year, so yeah, man.
Yeah, and by the way, just to clear something up, you're the PlayStation Nation thing you're affiliated with, isn't it the one with JTech, right?
No.
Oh God.
No. That's PlayStation Legion. I don't know. I don't want to say no ill will words towards people who
Man, fuck him.
I will. Fuck that dude.
No,
Fuck
I'm gonna say
that.
this. I don't want to say nothing ill will towards people I have blocked.
Okay.
So
man.
it's my boy Barry group, man. It's like the council's group. Is my boy Jay Barry.
All right, shout out to Jay Barry.
Yeah, that's my boy Barry, man. That's his group. I be in there a lot. And I be in other groups too, you know what I'm saying? But that's most of the group I be in all the time. But yeah, catch me on all of that stuff. And if you hit me up on Twitter, we out.
All right. That's what's up. And Jack Move, man, thank you for being on and plug your stuff,
doubt.
brother. All right.
I appreciate y'all, man. Everybody for tuning in. Check me out on the Weapon Wheel podcast every Saturday on YouTube, 6 Eastern time. Make sure you check out the Weapon Wheel podcast website, which is weaponwheelnetwork.com. Make sure you sign up. We got forums. It's a good time over there. YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter to keep up with me. Jack Move Johnny. Just type that in, man. And yeah, that's how we rocking.
That's what's up. And you guys got Patreon too, right? On Weapon Wheel?
Oh, yeah. Make sure you support that Patreon too.
Yeah, don't get cheap, motherfuckers. Give them some money.
Saying, no doubt.
$1 goes a long way, man.
Hey, for real.
You gotta feed those pockets, dog. Gotta feed those.
All right. Let's wrap this up. So thank you for watching and listening. Subscribe to Throwdown on SoundCloud, iTunes, and YouTube. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Throwdown Show. Links are available in the description below. Once again, our show is Tony Polanco, and tonight is joined by Emilio Lopez.
I'll see you later, guys.
Chris Seeley.
Hey, take care, everyone.
Carlos Romero.
Peace out.
Adam Vale.
Laters.
Brian Munjoma. Brian's playing fucking Warframe.
I'm playing Warframe right now.
Eddie.
What's up? Thank you. Peace.
This man's about to knock out, son.
Jaleesa
Jaleesa Foster.
Yo, he ain't about this vamp life over here. I'm good. But yeah, thanks for having me. Shouts out to everybody, man.
And motherfucking Jack Move Johnny.
Peace and blessings, and don't forget the high step.
All right, guys.
I'm still here. I'm still here. And my outro is Horizon Zero Dawn and Breath of the Wild are both overrated and derivative.
Whoa, this motherfucker, man. This motherfucker.
My name is Thailand.
Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying.
It's not a name. Horizon ain't over.
Tell me I'm lying.
It is exactly hype, man. This shit is fire. But we'll see y'all next time, people.
It's Far Cry Primal with robots.
This motherfucker. You haven't even played and you won't play either. Stop talking that bullshit.
Tell me I'm wrong, though.
Tell me I'm wrong. 1,000% wrong.
You're wrong.
100,000%.
By the way, me and Tony are getting our Switches tomorrow, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
Oh man,
you're wrong about Horizon.
Are
you're
you
probably
sure
right
about that?
I'm not getting my Switch. That shit. I checked my fucking email. I ain't got nothing. But anyway, we'll see y'all later. Peace.
Later, guys.
Latest.
Peace.